supersonic. I'm set. That sounds awesome, and our teachers deserve it. Guys, I know you've been working so hard on this forecast. We do have a Storm 5 alert. So what is the latest out there?
All right, right now we've got a host of severe thunderstorm warnings, and actually I just see a brand new tornado warning right now that has just gone into effect for Christian County and the northern part of Todd County. So again, that's a brand new tornado warning that's just been issued.
So let's actually do some team coverage on this. We'll go get on the radar and let's go through everything that's going on right now. We do have, of course, that tornado warning, as Leland just mentioned. Also, you're going to notice highlighted for you in the light yellow, that is going to be our severe thunderstorm watch that is now in place until 11 o'clock, basically for everybody. Right here in the yellow, the darker shade of yellow, that is our severe thunderstorm warning. So right now, ton of lightning out there. If you've got rain, you most definitely are most likely dealing with a lot of lightning. It is loud and can be frightening, especially to your pets as well as your children and even yourself. We kind of tend to go back to some times when we had a lot of active weather. So here right now is our tornado warning in place. It's portions of Christian County that is moving its way eastward as we speak, and that's going to continue to push east as we go. And as we spoke earlier, along this line right here, we do have the potential for these quick spin ups. So here's that rotation that we've got taking place right now. When you've got the reds and the greens beginning to make a little cup, that is indicating that you've got that rotation taking shape. Some of these will be very difficult to see. A, it's dark outside. B, they're rain wrapped. Please do not go and try and take photographs of it. There are tons of Nest cameras. We've got tons of TDOT cameras. We want you to stay safe. So right now, this is over into Hopkinsville. It is moving its way eastward as we speak, where we do have that tornado warning. If you're in this vicinity, we want you to get down to the lowest level of your home. We want you to stay there until it is good to go. Also, if you don't have a basement, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And Leland, how fast is this moving? We're just getting that report in.
Yeah, so this tornado warning right now is around the Christian County area, Muhlenberg County. Right now it is moving here to the northeast at around 50 miles per hour for us there. So this is just a little north of Hopkinsville, but just on the eastern side of Crofton there for us this morning. So let me pull this out for you just a bit, and we'll put a core on the track on the core of the warning itself. So again, right now moving here east at around 50 miles per hour. So here are a couple of the communities that are in the outline here. Those of you around Haley's Mill. We've got Kirkmansville there that's showing up on radar, Rosewood, Penrod, and the Quality area. So again, those are the regions that are in the greatest concern. Christian County, back over in the parts of the Todd County area. So I'll call out these names again: Haley's Mill, Kirkmansville, Rosewood, Penrod. Should it hold together, then down the line there would be Quality, South Hill, Morgantown, and back over toward the Rockland area. But let me take this off and bring you in a little closer into what we're seeing right now. So there is a look at the core of the storm there for us this morning. And right now we're continuing to see a little bit of rotation right here. So you can see right around the State Highway 80 back over around the State Highway 189, where again, when you see the red and the green next to each other, that's radar picking up winds moving in different directions. So if you've got one area there that would be the green, that's the winds being picked up as it's pushing toward our radar. The red would be moving away. So if you get those right next to each other, then there's a chance that there's a little bit of rotation there. So far, we'll headline this with radar indicated tornado, but we also need to emphasize that down in Stewart County, we've had strong winds that is down trees right now. About 1,300 customers are without electricity over in Stewart County. So take this seriously. And again, we'll remind you that in Monroe County, Tompkinsville yesterday, we had the storm that was a quick spin-up tornado, but left damage of an EF1 storm. So we'll bring you in a little bit closer. Let's see if we can identify a couple of the streets right in through here. So those of you in the Fruit Hill community, this is bearing down on you. So take cover over right now. Wade Road back over around Old Fruit Hill Road. Those of you back over around Gates Lane are a couple of areas where this could be pushing your way. A little further upstream, then we make our way back over toward Kirkmansville. So if you're around Kirkmansville, back over around Clifty Kirkmansville Road, around Frank Wells Road, then down the line, this could be pushing your way. So there is the setup right now, moving east at about 50 miles per hour. Let's give you the entire region right now. And so we can see that here in Nashville, there are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that are knocking on the door of Davidson County. So far in Tennessee, what we have at the moment are severe thunderstorm warnings from Montgomery County, Dixon County, back into the Perry County area, and extending down to right around to Hickman County. We'll put radar in and you can see the rain. And look at what, there is just a ton of lightning that is showing up with all of this for us. Before I left the house, there was thunderstorm activity, and the thunder was so loud that it shook just the whole neighborhood. But let me put a count on just all of that lightning. In that area there, you've got about 1,700 lightning strikes that are taking place for us this morning. But the greatest concern right now would be northern Christian County, and then back over around Todd County, where we've got the tornado warning. And right now that warning is out. It's 5:21, so that warning is out for now until 6 a.m.
It is, and it's going at a pretty fast speed. I mean, it's moving eastward 50 miles per hour. So to kind of give you a time of where we are looking, if it does continue to hold together over the next little bit, we're looking at Rosewood by 6:01, South Hill by around 6:52, and that's if it does stay together, Leland, and it is just rather messy. And here's the SPC outlook. You'll notice we've got the potential for strong to severe weather this morning and then again this afternoon. But right now we do have a tornado warning in place. It's moving eastward 50 miles per hour. That is for areas closer into Hopkinsville, and we're seeing some rotation involved with it as well. I don't think they have my computer pulled up, Leland, so if you want to show exactly what we are picking up as far as rotation is on yours,
yeah,
we can get a better view.
All right, so there we go right there. And if we're able to switch to flash as our main source right now, we'll show you that there is a look at what's happening right now for radar back up around the Hopkinsville area for you this morning. And again, Hopkinsville, you've got heavy rain. The core of what we're watching is just a little north of you for us this morning. And you've got kind of the outline picked out on that and the timing.
Yes, the timing of it looks to be right around Rosewood, 6:01. But you've got to remember that's if it continues to hold together. As Leila mentioned, Hopkinsville, you all have been dealing with a ton of lightning as of recent and being with a lot of rain. But the rotation aspect of this is still just off to your east. So let's clear things off and kind of get a better perspective of what we are seeing. Again, if you're just joining us, we do have a tornado warning in place for Christian, Mecklenburg, and Todd, Kentucky until 6 o'clock this morning. If you've got friends, family in this area and you know they are heavy sleepers, go ahead and give them that phone call. We want everyone to get to their safe place. Right now, it is indicated by radar, so we're noticing the rotation. When you do have the greens and the reds together, that's showing that potential of circulation taking place. At this time, we do not have anything indicated by a trained storm spotter. However, you gotta think about it, it is really early, so we're not necessarily dealing too much with a lot of people being able to see it and the potential for it being rain wrap because we do have so much rain involved. This system is moving fast and its forward motion is just moving east 50 miles per hour as we speak. And you actually can see where you've got those reds and the greens continuing to interlap as it continues to move its way just off to the east. Very electric, a lot of lightning associated with this as it does move its way. And Leland, we were talking earlier, power outages are already being reported in. We're also seeing trees down and getting indications of some winds gusting 50, even 60 miles per hour in some spots. Fort Campbell, not exactly this area, but they had a gust at 70 miles per hour not too long ago. That just shows you the strength of this line as it moves its way eastward.
Yeah, the Weather Service actually has wind sensors at some of the area airports, including the one in Clarksville at, I believe it's at Tiny Town Road, the airport there over at Outlaw Field. And it was, the wind was so strong coming through a little earlier to actually knock the wind sensor offline for just a little bit. So that's how strong those winds are. And again, as Nikki D pointed out, power outages back over around Stewart County. And let's see if I can get back to the map here real quick. quick. Right now, that number continues to go up. So we've got about 1,600 folks, at least 1,600 customers now without electricity in Stewart County. To put that in perspective, that looks like about 20% of the county without electricity right now in Stewart County. Meanwhile, in Montgomery County, it's a little lower right now, but in the northwestern county, part of the county south of Fort Campbell, there are about 31 customers without electricity there. So even outside of these tornado winds for us this morning, we've got some very strong winds, so be careful. But the biggest headline right now is this tornado warning that is out for the northern part of Christian County.
Get News Channel 5 on Roku, sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Moving its way east right around 50 miles per hour and continues to do so. We'll stay with you as it continues to move its way out. We are picking up some new information as we speak as far as what we are dealing with. As you know, a lot of trees have been reported down. We are getting reports of those intense gusty winds. And then on top of that, you've got some power outages that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and Amy was just pointing out Christian County, and we were talking about the number in Stewart County. As this storm is now moving through parts of Christian County, Amy was talking about the fact that there are about 1,500 customers right now in Christian County without electricity right now. And so we need for you all to take this careful. If we're calling out your part of the county, if we're calling out your part of Christian County, your part of Todd County, then we want you to take cover right now, because these can give us a quick spin up tornado. Right now, it's been radar indicated, but as we saw with Tompkinsville yesterday, they can quickly make their way down to the ground, even for a brief moment, enough to do damage. And so the one in the Tompkinsville area yesterday rated at an EF1. So let me pull you back in, and you can see Kirkmansville here, State Highway 507, 107, back over around 189. There's the core of this. I'm going to pull this back out and do another storm path here on this particular storm cell as it continues now to move eastward here at about 50 miles per hour. So right now, those of you in Kirkmansville coming down your way here in the next few minutes, even though Kirkmansville right now you've got some heavy rain, what we're looking at for the strongest part of this storm is still pushing your way. So those of you then around Rosewood, Penrod, Silver City, if it holds together your way down the line, you may have an impact with this. But I'll clear this, and we'll identify a few more streets so that you can get a better idea of what part of the county is being impacted the most with this. And let's go in right now. There's Hopkinsville. So Hopkinsville, the core of this is just to the north and northwest of you. So we go from there, and then you can see the Dogwood community, Fruit Hill, Haley's Mill, Oval community, back over around Honey Grove. Honey Grove, you're getting heavy rain, but it looks like Honey Grove, you're just on the edge of this storm cell for you right now. Does look like that this tornado warning will continue as we get a new update right now. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about 7 miles south of the Weir community, or about 15 miles to the north of Elkton, and continuing right now to move east here at about 50 miles per hour. So there is Elkton, and again, it's about 15 miles to the north of Elkton, moving east here at 50 miles per hour. So let's identify a few more communities. Clifty, those of you around Cedar Grove, Mount Tabor, those are some areas of concern. We identify a few streets now. If I call out your street, you need to take cover.
Or you know someone that lives on that street, because we do have so many people without power right now. This is the time to call them, let them know that they need to get to their safe location. It doesn't matter that it's early in the morning. Your safety is first.
Yes, definitely so. So if you are in the Jones Road area, back over around Marvin, Power Road, Allegri, there you go, right on the edge of you right now, back over around C. Martin Lane. And then down the line of this would be Blue Hole Road or French Road. But right here, right around the Shallow Church Road area, Owen West Road, Ebenezer Road are some of the biggest areas of concern right now. Let's see if we can see much on rotation right now. It's not as well defined at the moment as it was a little bit earlier for us out there. You can see a little bit of that showing up near Elkton, but it's a little further to the north of Elkton. And right now, Yeah, we still have some rotation there, but not as strong as it was a few minutes ago. But for now, this warning does continue for at least another 30 minutes as it makes its way into the Todd County area. Here in a moment, those of you in Christian County, I think you've actually been cleared from this. So let's put the warning map on. And so there you can see right there, Nikki D, it does look like that Christian County in the clear of the tornado warning. The county, though, still remains under a severe thunderstorm warning right now.
That's correct. And you'll notice everyone highlighted for you in the yellow, the almost translucent yellow. You are under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock. If you've got more of the darker yellow, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. As Leland mentioned, now we do not have a tornado warning in place for Christian County because these storms are fast. They're moving east 50 miles per hour, so they're not lollygagging. They're not spending a lot of time. And because of that forward motion, they're very quick to spin up, but they're also very quick to fizzle out. So it goes back and forth. It's almost like a wave. Think about it in the ocean where you've got those ebbs and flows. So still dealing with a tornado warning for a handful of us. That's going to move its way off to the east. And if you take a look back, we were actually discussing, how quick these are spinning up. This is just looking at those winds. You don't want to see those couplets together. So when we start to see an area of concern, it typically does warn quite quickly, as what we did see yesterday and have been dealing with all morning long. If you're not dealing with that tornado warning, we're not neglecting you. We know it is loud. It is very electric. We've got a ton of cloud to ground lightning out there. Every one of those little bitty white dots, that is cloud to ground lightning, and it is very electric, it is bright, and that continues to move its way eastward. Also picking up a ton in the way of heavy downpours, even some flood advisories and flash flood warnings in place for areas just to our Kentucky tier, as y'all have had heavy rain showers all morning long, and we're beginning to pick up on some of that ponding. But right now, our main concern continues to be with this tornado warning in place for Mecklenburg and Todd. That stays with us until 6 o'clock. It is currently a severe thunderstorm, but it's got the capability of producing a tornado because we are dealing with a little bit in the way of upper level rotation. Now, it's not as well deformed as what it was earlier, but as we deal with those ebbs and flows, it could potentially strengthen yet again. It's moving eastward 50 miles per hour. There are a lot of power outages as we speak in this particular area. If you know someone that lives around, say, even into Lewisburg, you're not under the tornado warning, but it's moving closer to your direction, you want to go ahead and give them that phone call, wake them up, and get to this safe place.
All right, let me take you to our camera right now from Hopkinsville. So Hopkinsville, again, the storm is north of you and Christian County has been cleared, but you are still under a severe thunderstorm warning in the Christian County area where right now it is 65 degrees. Meanwhile, we take our camera from Clarksville and there's the rain as it comes down out of the Clarksville area. Dickson County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and currently there it is 78 degrees for us here in the Dickson area. Here in Nashville downtown, this is Skycam right now. Don't have much happening within the core of the city, but we're continuing to keep an eye on these stronger storms as they are now knocking on the door of Davidson County there for us this morning. And so we've got a kind of a very volatile setup here. We've got several storms that are going to be on the way for us. The threat for tornadoes is there. It's a quick spin up tornado, but we need for you to be on the concern all day long. And then until we get this through here, the wind threat, the hail threat is there, also flash flooding as well. But there's the wide view of what's happening for us right now. Look at all of that lightning that is out there. In Tennessee, what we have right now are severe thunderstorm warnings. Houston County, the last time I checked, or Stewart County, last time I checked, you were about 1,600 customers without electricity. That number is growing in Montgomery County. And I looked at the map for Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation, and the number of people without electricity in Montgomery County growing. Amy checked out Watts, the Hopkinsville area, and says they've got about 1,500 without electricity there. So even outside of the tornado warning. There are some strong winds, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, and that's what we think did the damage down in Montgomery County and Stewart County as far as the power outages there. Strong winds at 40 to 50 miles per hour. Right now, though, the tornado warning continues in the northern part of Todd County. So Logan County, no warning for you. We'll see if this extended your way, but no warning for you. That extends, though, for northern Todd County, the southern part of Muhlenberg County there, as this cell continues now to move on off toward the east here at around 50 miles per hour. Those of you in Lewisburg, so Lewisburg, you're Logan County. Right now, no warning for you, but this is just to the west, so be careful through this area. Kirkmansville, Mount Tabor, back over around Clifton, a couple of these regions here that have some of the strong storms. We're still seeing a little bit of rotation, but we're not seeing it as well defined as we were a little bit earlier. But for now, the warning continues. As we go through the day, a couple more waves of rain. We had that wave yesterday morning. Here is another wave moving through right now. But until the front doesn't get in here till overnight tonight. So until that front gets through here, the risk is there. Anybody in the News Channel 5 viewing area has the risk of severe weather. Yeah, it shows for later, a little greater in our southern counties, but as we're watching right now, if you are in the News Channel 5 viewing area, you run the risk of severe storms, wind, hail, heavy downpours, but some quick spin up tornadoes. And Nikki D, again, until this system is completely through here, we need everybody to stay on top of what's happening out there. Here's another look at what's happening around Kirkmansville for us this morning, and that warning there, Nikki D, in the northern part of Todd County and Muhlenberg County.
Yes, we're keeping a very close eye on it. The rotation has weakened significantly, which is some great news, but we're getting new information that we're looking at an extension of a severe thunderstorm warning more so to our east into Robertson and Davidson County pretty soon. Now just getting clarification, tornado warning in Mecklenburg as well as Todd now canceled, which is some great news for us. But we are going to notice things continuing to move east. That's just how it goes when it comes to this particular system. So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch just about for everybody that goes into 11 o'clock. The tornado warning that we had earlier for Mecklenburg and Todd, it is now canceled, but the severe threat is still with us. We do have several severe thunderstorm warnings. They're about to be extended eastward into portions of Robertson as well as Davidson County soon, because this line isn't wasting any time. And it's got some winds gusting earlier. Fort Campbell, 70 miles per hour. We've seen several sites being knocked out because of the winds being so incredibly high and vicious. Also dealing with power outages and trees down. So you've got the wind aspect, and look at all this lightning. We continue to have a ton of cloud to ground lightning. It is very loud. Also, when it comes to our hail threat, dealing around pea-sized hail in a lot of spots. When you look at the hail content, it looks as if it has settled just a little bit. But of course, we do have a rebuilding that takes place a lot of times with these type storms. So we'll continue to keep a monitor on everything as it moves its way off to the east, but looking for that severe thunderstorm warning to be extended going into areas in Davidson County as well as Robertson. And here's a look at how things have been moving just off to our east at a very quick forward motion, around 50 miles per hour. So you've got the forward motion as it's moving. Think about a car on cruise control, but then inside that vehicle, you've got all those winds as well. And that's what makes for a very messy setup. Right now, since we do not have any tornado warnings, we'll toss it back to the show. And we'll keep a very close eye on how things continue to develop, because Ben, as you know, this is a very active situation and these spin-ups can happen quite quickly.
All right, we'll check back as needed, guys. Thank you so much for walking us through all of that.
This system will continue to move its way eastward. Right now, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings continuing. We now are dealing with something brand new out of the area, and we're going to stay with us as we go throughout the next little bit. Leland, you've got some new information in.
Yeah, tornado warning. It just popped up there. Tornado warning now for the northern part of Davidson County.
If we can.
So if we can pull this
right
out,
now,
yes.
We can go back over to Flash. We are dealing with now a tornado warning in areas just north of the city, and that's going to be something we watch right now. Leland.
This portion of News Channel 5 is sponsored by Lazy Days RV.
Celebrate the amazing mom in your life with amazing deals from
All right, we are back right now. We do have the tornado warning for northern Davidson County. This is Tower Skycam, and Tower Skycam right now is on the north side of town. Don't know if they're able to have any flexibility with moving that, but right now, a tornado warning on the north side of town that does extend into Sumner County. So those of you in Davidson County, northern part of Davidson County, the southern part of Robertson, and back over into Sumner County around Hendersonville is what we're watching, and you've got that called up on radar.
I do. Right now, this is a circulation. We do have a strong circulation that has really rapidly developed over Jolton, and this is in portions of northern Davidson County, and our tornado warning is Davidson, Robertson, Sumner. This goes with us until 6:30 this morning, and right now it is severe thunderstorm, but we do have the potential of some circulation, potentially bringing in a tornado. So right now, as Leila mentioned, we do have that tornado warning. If you are in this area, get to your safe place. Don't double check it. Get to the lowest level of your home as we speak. If you do not have a basement, you want to have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This is moving its way just off to the east, 50 miles per hour. Right now it's around 9 miles south of Springfield, and it is moving quite quickly. When it comes to the circulation, Leland, we are picking some of that up, and that is why it is so concerning.
Yeah, so those of you in the northern part of Davidson County, those of you who are in southern parts of Sumner County, Hendersonville is included in this warning. So those of you in those areas, your storm shelter apps are going off right now with this information. But those of you in Ridgetop, about 6:12, the Goodlettsville area that would be back over near Rivergate Mall at about 6:19, Hendersonville around 6:29. If it were to hold together, it's outside of the warning, but there is Gallatin listed there at 6:48 there for us this morning. But right now, you've got the circulation that's being pulled up.
Yes, we sure do, and this does include Interstate 65 between mile marker 95 and 102. That is Interstate 65 between mile marker 95 and 102. Interstate 24 between mile markers 32 and 38. Just a little bit of perspective. You need to take cover now. If you've got family members that are typically out on the road during this time frame, you need to call them to tell them to get to a safe place. This is some pretty strong rotation that we are seeing as we speak, as it continues to move its way. So where you've got the reds and the greens, that's what you don't want to have. That's when you are seeing that circulation currently taking shape, and it is moving rather quickly as it moves its way just off to the east. Again, this is a tornado warning. It includes areas Hendersonville, Goodlettsville, as well as Millersville, Coopertown, Ridgetop, and Old Hickory. You are under a tornado warning. This is areas of North Davidson County, and it continues to move its way just eastward as it continues to move its way around quite the speed limit. Leland?
Yeah, definitely so. So those of you up in the Jolton area, take cover. It looks like the part of Jolton is just on the edge of this, but just north of right now is where we're seeing this. So strong circulation continuing east of Jolton. So strong circulation continuing east of the Jolton area, damaging straight line winds 70 miles per hour. So think of a car running down the interstate at 65 to 70 miles per hour. That's how quick this thing is moving. So those of you to the east of Jolton, and especially as you head back over near Clay Lick, this wouldn't be too far there from Interstate 24, and around Interstate 24 would be Clay Lick Road, back over around the Wilderness Trail Road, and back over around Gray Road. So those of you around Union Hill Road, some of you remember the old Union Hill School that's up that way. We're talking in this area. So right now, this is where we're seeing some strong circulation for us here with this particular storm cell right now. Racing east here at about 50 miles per hour, but some of the winds inside of this right now are at around 70 miles per hour. We'll look to see if we're able to see anything on the camera, and right now this is our Tower Skycam, and it's a little south of the Jolton area, but it's up near Whites Creek in Belshire right now, but some very heavy rain that is moving through this area. So we need for you, if you're in this location, go ahead and take cover right now. It's radar indicated, but there is strong circulation with this. And don't go look out the window. Just, all right, get the family, go put them in the safe place, get the kids, have them grab their bicycle helmet and all that stuff. Go get in their safe place. And you can see, as our friends in the control room pan the camera here, look at how darker that camera got as it moved north. It was pointing toward the south, toward downtown, and they have now moved this to a different direction where it's kind of pointing a little north of that tower location there along I-24 on the north side of town. So again, we've got this strong circulation that is showing up just east of Jolton. And even if you don't have tornadic winds, you've got straight line winds at 70 miles per hour. And again, think of a car going down the interstate. That's the speed of a car going down the interstate. And the circulation is still very well defined.
It is very well defined. We're talking about areas around into Jolton, Union Hill, Licton. You guys want to make sure you are in your safe place. That does include if you're right in the Forest Grove area, Morgan Road, Union Hill Road, as well as even getting over into Millersville. We want you to get in that safe spot, as well as get into Goodlettsville. This is moving so fast, moving eastward 50 miles per hour. Right now, we do not currently have confirmation that a tornado is on the ground, but we do have circulation. This is Doppler indicated. It is going to be difficult to see, so there is no reason you need to be outside. We want you in your safe place. If you've got young children, put the helmet on their head, their bicycle helmet, football helmet, and get to the lowest level of your home. This is the strongest circulation we have seen thus far this morning, Leland, when it comes to the tornadoes that have popped up.
Yeah, definitely so. And so again, we are here on the north side right now, back up toward the Jolton area, and really kind of north and northeast of Jolton. But if you're up near Ridgetop, southern part of Sumner County, Hendersonville, an area of concern with this system pulling on off. And again, even if you don't end up with a tornado in this area, we've got winds that are about 70 miles per hour. And as this storm has made its way through those northern and northwestern areas, we have been watching the number of power outages skyrocket across the area. So right now in Stewart County, there are about 1,900 folks without electricity. That's just over 3,800 right now in the Montgomery County area. But we're starting to see that number spike a little bit in Robertson County. So that trend would continue. That mean power outages are on the way in northern Davidson County and back over in the Sumner County area. So let me pull this out so you can kind of see the entire region that we're talking about right now. And let me just show you where we've got just the warnings. Let's take radar off and just put warnings on right now. So it's the Nashville area, Cheatham County, Robertson County, Sumner County, but that area in red right now is where we've got the tornado warning here. And I'll put another storm path on this and we'll get you to the core of the storm as it now moves eastward here at around 50 miles per hour. So a couple of the areas this way, Union Hill. Again, we know that's where the old Union Hill School is at, Goodlettsville. So those of you in Goodlettsville, take cover with this. Those of you who would be back over around Rivergate Mall, those of you who might be along Long Hollow Pike and all of the businesses that are back over that way, the Hendersonville area, the city by the lake, you've got this strong storm that is just east of you right now. Hendersonville, you may have rain, but right now the core of where the tornado may be is just to the west of you. So it would push your way within the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Because it's moving so fast. That's why we don't have a ton of time to take cover. So we're dealing with a very strong circulation that we keep just continuing to be well defined. Interstate 65 between mile marker 95, 102. Interstate 24 between mile markers 32 and 38. This storm system is moving its way eastward at a very rapid path. So right at 40 miles per hour, straight line winds within it 70. Think about a car on cruise control. Regardless if the circulation is going to be in your neighborhood or not, you've got some damaging winds. Getting a closer perspective, Union Hill, Ivy Point, we want you guys to be in your safe place, as well as going closer into Goodlettsville. You need to go ahead and get to that lower level of your home since it is moving so incredibly fast. As far as reports are concerned, we have not had anything as of yet, but we are continuing to see with those intense winds, Leland, this is something to watch out for, especially with the circulation being so well defined.
Yeah, definitely so. So again, we've got power outages all over the place. I don't know if a producer or anyone is able to check NES and kind of whisper in my ear the number of outages with NES inside of Davidson County, but we did note 3,800 customers in Montgomery County. That's just from a thunderstorm. That wasn't even a tornado warning there in the Stewart County area, where schools are now going to operate 2 hours late. Stewart County, Houston County, Muhlenberg County, all of those places are going to have schools operating on a delay, and parents watch to see if it stays on a delay. Sometimes they'll do a delay to buy a little extra time and then decide whether or not they need to close school for the day. So parents, make sure that you stay aware of what's happening with your local system. But this is Skycam looking north right now, and you've got new information there, Nikki D.
Just a minor people out of power right now, but we're getting a continuation of the tornado warning right now for Davidson, Sumner. That goes until 6:30. It is capable of producing a tornado. Was located over Goodlettsville, which is around 11 miles southeast of Springfield. It's moving east. It's slowed down, Leland. Right now coming in at 45 miles an hour. And if we can bring up Rebecca's computer, she's got T.1 and 2 for us, where we can actually get some more looks when it comes to what we are seeing. So let's pull these up for you. This is a look for you, thanks to Rebecca, giving us a live look for areas right around I-65 at Vietnam Vets. And then we also have I-65 at Long Hollow Pike. There are a lot of people out on those roadways right now. We need to make sure we get those precautions out as soon as possible.
And you see our good friends at TDOT also doing what they can to alert people who are on the roadway with the information there, that tornado warning that is now out for the northern part of Davidson County. So we'll come back, show you what's happening right now with the warning itself. There's that line of very strong storms, but it's right in through here. You heard Nikki D mention Goodlettsville, so those of you around the Goodlettsville area, back over now around Rivergate Mall, you at Long Hollow Pike. So Long Hollow Pike, that's a big exit for travelers where that Cracker Barrel is located there. You've got more storms as they continue now from back to our south and southwest. Nothing severe through that area there, but those of you in those southern counties, I know you're getting some very loud thunder at this point, but we need to kind of alert folks right in through here. So Goodlettsville, you've got the storm cell that would then make its way back over into the southern part of Sumner County there for us this morning. So there is 41A, that would be Dickerson Pike as it made its way up toward Ridgetop. There is the other road, there's 65 right there. Just on the west side of that is kind of the old highway that some folks take to get from Davidson County up toward White House. So these are some areas right in through here where we've got great concern. So right now, there's the northern tip of Davidson County. There is Sumner County right there, the southern part of Sumner, Hendersonville on the border with Goodlettsville there. If you are in this area, go ahead and take cover. Even if you don't end up with a tornado on the ground, we've got some strong winds that are around 70 miles per hour. So we need for you to be very careful with this. Outside of that, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning that covers pretty much the rest of Sumner County and then Robertson County. And then if you are in Nashville, downtown Nashville, back over toward Brentwood, back over toward Bellevue, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and they were telling me that from NES right now, about 350 to 400 folks, our customers, are without electricity in Davidson here at the current time. But right now, Nikki D, it's this northern area of Davidson County and the Sumner County that we need folks to pay very close attention to what's happening and get to their safe place.
Yes, get to the lowest level of your home. This includes Interstate 65. Now we're getting a smaller slice of the pie that's between mile marker 95 and 102. So Interstate 65 between mile marker 95 and 102. This storm is radar indicated, so we're seeing the rotation on the radar. We do not have anything with a storm spotter as of yet. That does not mean we want you to go outside. We want you in your lowest level of your home. It is moving its way eastward 45 miles per hour, so right around into Goodlettsville. Over into Millersville, you are seeing a lot of lightning. It is very loud. Locations closer into Campbell Road. All of this is moving its way closer into Hendersonville over the next little bit, and it's going at that very quick forward motion eastward, 45 miles per hour. Now, we are seeing some reports of power outages, and because of that, we ask, please notify your friends and family in this area. This rotation is something that we want to take seriously, and it's one that's held quite steady over the past little bit. So you want to get down to your basement. If you don't have a basement, that interior room away from doors and windows. Still dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning for areas closer all across the area, basically.
There's actually now a second tornado warning that has now been issued. So right now, there are 3 possible tornado circulations going on right now. We've got one near Orlinda, one near White House, and one near Millersville. So with those additional circulations there are now new tornado warnings that are out. So we've got the original one that we're watching in the northern part of Davidson County and back over toward Hendersonville. But here is a brand new one right now, and this one is for the White House area. So we were talking about White House a moment ago. White House, Cross Plains, Portland, Bethpage, you are now under a brand new tornado warning, and that warning is out until 6:45. A storm capable of producing a tornado located near Orlinda, about 14 miles to the northeast there of Springfield, moving east at about 45 miles per hour. So right now, possible tornado over near the White House area. So again, 3 areas of circulations that we are watching: Orlinda, White House, and Millersville, and they are all covered with these warnings that are out at the moment.
They are. And again, I want to reiterate, these are 3 separate circulations. This is not one circulation that is covering 3 areas. 3 separate ones, which can be a little confusing when we go to 1 to 3. But it's 3 possible tornado circulations that are going right now: one in Orlinda, one near White House, and another near Millersville. They are all traveling eastward at 45 miles per hour. So that's what they have in common, is that circulation as well as their forward motion. These right now still indicated on the radar. We do not have anything indicated by a trained storm spotter as of right now. Regardless if that circulation makes its way to the ground or not, you want to be in your safe place. If you are in the tornado warned areas, please go down to the lowest level of your home. Just continue to remain calm. You know what to do. You practice this. You've got everything ready to go. The tornado warning, they're saying it's going to continue as it moves its way still eastward, 45 miles per hour. Located over Goodlettsville, which is 11 miles just west of Gallatin. Continuing to see that move. And Leland, you've got a nice view right now if you want to.
Yeah, so we've got this circulation that is up for us right now. This is the one that is back over near the Millersville area here. So we're seeing a little bit of the circulation right in through here. And again, winds moving one way toward the radar. You've got winds moving in an opposite direction away from the radar. So when they're next to each other, the possibility of some rotation there. So the new update now has that moving on off toward the east. So that would take it back over near Happy Hollow Road, back over near Center Point Road for us this morning, back over near Forest Retreat. So a couple of areas there, but that's right here near Laura Lane, back over to the east there of Madison Creek. Now, Madison Creek is back over where elementary school is at, and I know that elementary school is one of the ones that actually starts a little earlier in the county. I think that one starts, I know the school bus in my neighborhood for that runs at 6 o'clock or 6:15. So I think Madison Creek usually starts at around 7:15 in the morning. So they've already got students on the road headed there. By the time they get to the start of school, the school bell ringing, this circulation would be on off toward the east. But there you see it there from Raft Hollow back over near Wonder Valley for us this morning. And so there's that area there. You go a little north of that, White House, Portland, a couple of other areas that we're watching this morning, and that circulation right around White House. So let me actually do this. Let me give you a couple of different storm paths on these different circulations that we are seeing this morning. So we'll start with the one here in the southern part of now really Sumner County, coming out of Davidson County into Sumner County. This one moving eastward here at about 45 miles per hour. So some of the communities that could be impacted would be Cairo, Castellan Springs, and then back over toward the Gallatin area. If we did a storm path on the one just to the north north of this one. That one would put us around the one that's happening in White House. And so that one right now, again, all three moving here about 45 miles per hour. So you've got Cummings Crossroads, South Tunnel Road, the Salome community, and back over Hartsville if it were to hold together for Hartsville, which is in Trousdale County, at around 7:07 this morning. From time to time, we have been watching our camera on the north side, and now with the lower clouds, all we can see is the lightning that is coming down here. But that camera is our viewpoint on the north side of town. That camera is located around I-24 near Old Hickory Boulevard. So let me show you what's up, and you've actually got a new image that has just come in.
I do. This is thanks to Aaron Cantrell. He is actually in downtown Nashville right now and giving us a bird's eye view of what we actually are seeing. You can tell how gray those clouds are as it continues to move in. And I was just talking with Rebecca. I believe she's got some TDOT images that we're going to be taking a look at in just a second if we can pull these up. This one actually just froze. It just actually went out because of the high winds out there as we speak. So north of town where the storm is currently happening, all of them are, well, now we got a little bit more action. They're now beginning to move just a little bit, but that just shows you how strong these winds are, Leland. This one's frozen as well. So if you know anyone out on the roadways, as Leland mentioned, some of these schools that start earlier, you want to get to your safe place because these are some damaging winds. Not only are we dealing with the potential when it comes to the tornadic activity, but we also have straight line winds that are causing an issue. Right now, we still have a tornado warning for several areas. It has now been canceled for Davidson, but we still have the two other rotations just northward that we're keeping a very close eye on as they continue to move their way off to the east, right around 45 miles per hour. You can tell that that circulation is still something noteworthy when it comes to these storms getting closer into Hendersonville right now, going from Goodlettsville to Hendersonville as it moves its way eastward. And then you'll notice we have just now shifted that tornado warning going over for our friends just, let's see, 14 miles north of Gallatin, and it is moving east 45 miles per hour with another possible tornado was just located east of White House, and that is moving at 45 miles. So a lot of new developments out there, Leland, and these are continuing to bring a punch.
Yeah, so tornado warning out of the Robertson County area has been canceled. So tornado warning for Robertson County has been canceled. The portion of Davidson County that was under the tornado warning has been canceled, but now we're looking at Sumner County where we've got a couple of different clusters here and a couple of different areas where we're seeing a little bit of rotation. Here's Skycam again downtown Nashville. So this part of Nashville would be just under the severe thunderstorm warning. Take it seriously because winds have been at 40 to 50 miles per hour, and even some of the straight line winds have been at 70 miles per hour. So definitely take that part of the storm seriously as well. It has meant numerous power outages over parts of Montgomery County, Robertson County, and back into the Stewart County area. So this is the line. This is the wide view of everything that's happening. So if you're south of Nashville, you're getting some pretty mean thunderstorms right now, but they are below severe limits. So Williamson County, Murray County, Hohenwald, Lewis County, you're getting loud rain and loud thunder right now, but it's this northern extent as we make our way toward the Tennessee-Kentucky state line where we've got some of our biggest issues. We've got the tornado warnings here, but in addition to that, newer severe thunderstorm warnings now. Macon County. I mentioned Hartsville a moment ago. Hartsville right there in Trousdale County. There we've got a little part of Wilson County that's in this. So the areas of Sumner County that are not under the tornado warning, you've actually got severe thunderstorm warnings right now, and all of this rain, all of this lightning is moving your way. So anybody that's in this area right now, getting ready to head out for work, give yourself another half hour or so. So at least the strongest part of this storm would be to the east of you. But there's the area right there in Hendersonville for us this morning, and right now you can see it from Millersville to Goodlettsville. We'll bring this in a little closer and put in a couple of streets back over in this area. So some heavy rain right now along Center Point Road, back over around Forest Retreat Road. That's actually a shortcut that some folks take to get over to the Target Shopping Center back over that way. You've got Happy Hollow Road. All of this is very strong rain. This is 386. Most folks just know it as Vietnam's Vet. So this is very heavy rain along and north of of Vietnam's Vet, but even on the south side there around Savely Drive, back over around Stop 30 Road, Anderson Road. Areas getting hit very hard with some rain. We go north of this to the second tornado warning that is out, and you've got Cummings Cross Road, Fountainhead, back over in the Portland area where they're getting ready for a huge weekend there, so they want all of this stuff on out of here. Maxwell Branch Road right now, you've got heavy rain. Halltown Community, Halltown Road, Cummings Cross Road, PD Branch Road, and back over around Walt Nolan Road. So through here, some very heavy rain. Be careful. We go back now to Nikki D.
And now we're getting another report with the tornado warning now for Sumner, Trousdale, and Wilson counties until 6:45. This is the same system moving its way eastward 45 miles per hour. So that's with you until 6:45. Multiple circulations are with these. So please heed the warning as they continue to move their way just off to our east. So other locations impacted by this potential tornadic situation include right around into Dickerson Chapel Recreation Area and Bleedstone Creek State Park, just to name a few, Leland, as this continues to move.
All right. They are also reissuing the tornado warning for Sumner County as the circulation remains intense near Hendersonville. So again, those of you up in the Hendersonville area, make sure that you're taking cover right now. They are reissuing the tornado warning for that part of the county.
And we're getting indication that one of the Gallatin cameras seems to see something over in northern Sumner County, and we want to make sure that we are giving you guys a heads up. If you are in that area, please make sure that you are staying weather aware as we speak. This looks as if we are seeing some lowering. Not to frighten you, but you need to know what we are looking at. Now, the cameras are a little spotty right now, so it's hard to really get a full indication of what we're seeing because of these high winds. But here's a look for us with our view right now in Gallatin. Let's see.
So right now on this particular viewpoint, not much. We'll go back to radar and I'll spin the camera around to see if we're seeing anything there.
So that's something that we're going to continue to watch. Here's that look right now. You'll see Gallatin just off to the east, a lot of lightning involved. Let's put on when it comes to what we're looking at wind-wise. Yeah, there's some tight circulation that is making its way. So areas closer into Lower Station, Camp Creek Road, you want to get in your safe spot. Hunt Club Boulevard, going just over into Peyton. We want you to be in the lowest level of your home as this continues to move its way. Possible tornado east of Hendersonville. It will be moving across Gallatin very shortly. So just to repeat that, there is a possible tornado east of Hendersonville that will be moving across Gallatin over the next little bit. That's going to continue to move its way eastward. So we're keeping a close eye on how all of this is continuing to develop as we're really seeing multiple circulations taking place. And it's hard to see it if you're not looking at the radar because it is so rain wrapped. It is very dark outside and also electric. Also getting reports of numerous trees down in Robertson County. Currently, no structural damage has been reported, but now seeing expiration for the tornado warning in Sumner right now, but still dealing with that possible tornado east of Hendersonville as it continues to move its way.
All right, so we do have one of the tornado warnings for the Sumner County area that has been expired. We'll pull this out, and there are actually a couple that are out there for us right now, but one of them has been expired. So I'm trying to get confirmation on which one that may be that third smaller box there. But right now we can see this little area of green that is showing up. Right now it's kind of south and to the southwest there of Gallatin now, and that would be along 31 back over near the Petonia community, Greenleaf Boulevard. So right in here, those of you at Kennesaw Boulevard, back over around Harris Lane, make sure that you're taking cover right now. You've got Greenleaf Boulevard right now, back over toward Douglas Bend Road. That's just a little to the east there of Vietnam's Vet. There's 386 right right there. That is Vietnam's Vet. So that would go back over near Enterprise for us now. You've got Vietnam's Vet, which is 386. This second line here would be for them in Nashville. It's known as Gallatin Pike, but up this way it would be a Nashville Pike through here, not too far from Vol State in this area. So this cell is moving east right now. Watch that circulation. So this is where we've got some concern right now. Again, so far what we've seen are several radar indicated tornadoes here, but even outside of that, there has been damage with just thunderstorm wind. So we need for you to take this seriously. A lot of you, your Storm Shield app just went off. Your NOAA weather radio just went off. If you are in this area, go ahead and find the safest place in your home. Two-level home, go to the bottom floor. Got a basement, go to the basement. A one-level house, find a nice room in the middle of the house, preferably one with no windows. Grab the small mattress off of the kid's bed, the twin mattress, or grab a pillow, grab a helmet, and just go take cover. That way you've at least got something to protect your head while you are taking cover. Grab your phone. That way you can stay with us. We are streaming on newschannel5.com. We're streaming on News Channel 5 now, our streaming service, and you're able to follow us there. So go, grab the phone, grab the iPad, get in your safe place, and we will ride you through this setup through here. Right now, again, we're watching along Gallatin Pike, around Belvedere, around Lock 4 Road, around Tulip Popular Drive, or a couple of areas here where we're seeing a little bit of this rotation. And you've got the big picture view to show the counties right now that have the warnings.
Yes, you can obviously tell where the counties are that are highlighted for you in the red, and the tornado warning is continuing for Sumner County until 6:45. We were getting indication of capable producing a tornado that was located near Cottontown. It is moving east 40 miles per hour. So please get to your safe spot. You'll notice if you are not under a tornado warning, you are all under a severe thunderstorm watch. That's going to be until 11 o'clock. But these have intense winds associated with them. And also you have got the rotation. That is a very large concern. Now, Hohenwald going into Waynesboro, Columbia, Franklin, Williamson County. We're not leaving you guys out. Right now, your storms, I understand they are electric and they are very loud. Right now, you are not under a severe thunderstorm warning and you do not have any tornado warnings, but we are keeping a very close eye on you guys as that storm is now looking to be a significant weather advisory for Giles, Lawrence, as well as going into Lewis, Marshall, Murray, and Wayne counties until 7:15. So that is a significant weather advisory. You have not yet checked all the boxes to have a severe thunderstorm warning. Obviously, our main concern right now are areas with rotation. We still have tornado warnings in place as this storm system continues to move its way eastward at 40 miles per hour. It is currently 6:28 in the morning. If you know anyone that tends to be out on the roadways as of this time frame, we want you to get them to the safe spot and let them know what's going on. So here's a closer look at the rotation. You have the reds and the greens together. That's indicating that we do have that circular motion in place closer around into the Gallatin area. And then you put back on what we're seeing as far as the sweeps are concerned. Heavy rain just west, now moving its way closer into Gallatin. And that's where we're looking to see that potential rotation as it moves its way right around 45 miles per hour. And it's about to get really loud for you, Gallatin, with the intense winds that are also gusting.
Wilson County, but within that severe thunderstorm warning, there is the tornado warning there that is back over toward Gallatin. So there's another view of what's happening with that. In addition, watch out for rain. There's places, if you know that there's a neighborhood or a road in your neighborhood that floods very easily, be careful there this morning. Some spots picked up 1 inch or 2 of rain yesterday, and now you've got more rain on top of that. So through here, flash flood warnings that extend through a host of counties across south central Kentucky this morning. So you've got that area there, and then we go back to the tornado warning. for parts of the Sumner County area, back over near Trousdale County. So around Castellian Springs, you've got this very strong cell that is moving your way. If you're in Wilson County, the northern part of Wilson County, be careful there. This is 231, so that's the way that a lot of people who are driving I-40 cut from I-40 to make their way back over towards Sumner County, and that's pushing through back up near the lake, back over near that Boy Scout camp, Boxwell Reservation, and then you make your way back over in to sections there of Sumner County. So if this is the region of big concern right now, a couple of the communities there as this moves on off toward the east here at around 40 to 45 miles per hour. The second cell, which is now below severe limits, but still packing a powerful punch, though, Bethpage in Sumner County, Lafayette Municipal Airport, 706 as this pushes your way. So these are the areas where we've got our biggest concern right now, Nikki D.
And we've got now a continuation of a tornado warning that was over in Sumner and Wilson. That's moving its way off to the east, still 45 miles per hour. So basically the polygon has just shifted as the storm continues to rapidly move its way off to our eastern locations. We're getting a lot of reports, large trees down, multiple power outages in several spots. But this is our main concern when it comes to a tornado warning right now. It is just east of Gallatin as it moves its way 45 miles per hour. And take a closer look for you where you'll notice it's going to go over 231 here in the next little bit as it continues to move its way. As far as the rotation is concerned, this is our only storm system that we do have an issue with rotation right now. But as we spoke about earlier, these will quickly begin to be defined. So here's a closer view for you. You'll notice around Lakeview Road, Harbor Drive, calling out any of your areas over in the Newton Lane. We want you to be in your safe spot to get down to the lowest level of your home. Put on your helmet if at all possible, and we want you to really stay safe. And we've got some photos if we want to pull those up for us, Bethany. Thank you. There's some live pictures or brand new photos now coming in from our newsroom. She's working on it as we speak, and we'll get some more of that to you as soon as possible. Please do not go out there. Stay safe and stay calm. It appears to be, let's see, seeing some potential tornado warned circulation causing some issues. And Leland, you're picking up some of these pictures as well. And that tree is definitely something that you don't really want to see.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll get these loaded here in the computer in just a second for you. But we go back, and that circulation shows up very well there for us this morning as we make our way to the northern part of the county. And there's the wide view, so you can see Nashville right now showing up the storm, the strongest part of these storms now to the east and southeast. So this is one of the pictures that have just come in from the Goodlettsville area. And again, some strong wind, strong damage up that way. Right now, I do know that, what do we got? Parts of Robertson County now, 1,400 without power. I'll need to do an update on NES if anybody can get that to us here. But there are thousands of folks who are waking up without electricity at the moment. So let's go back in and bring you in a little closer here. So the counties right now, let's take the radar off so you can just see where the warnings are at. So you've got the yellow, that's Sumner, Macon, Trousdale, part of Smith, part of Wilson that remain under a severe thunderstorm warning. Within that warning is the tornado warning that is continuing now. That continues from near Castellian Springs. That would be out of Sumner County and then extending over into Trousdale County. That's where you will find Hartsville at for us this morning. So right now we've got a very dangerous situation back over near Castellian Springs where we've got the warning. So let me put the data back on. Let's go back over here near Castellian Springs for us this morning. And right here is where we've got some of our issues right now. So you see just south of Castellian Springs, back over near Cairo, a little area of circulation that shows up there for us this morning. In addition to that, another little area that looks to be just north of Castellian Springs. That's outside of the warning area there. But if you are just north of Castellian Springs along Rock Springs Road, Governor Hall Road, Lauderdale Road, take cover your way as well. No warning on that one, but yeah, I do see some circulation there back over near Greenfield Lane. But this is one that we're watching right now where we've got the warning here. So back near Harsh Lane. Let's see, Quorum Hill Road, back over near Canoe Branch Road for us this morning. So it does look like they will reissue this tornado warning for the southeastern part of Sumner County and the Trousdale County. And so this is what we're watching right now. So this is the area that continues as they will kind of reissue, re-update the outline of the warning. But more than anything, if you're near the Sumner County, Trousdale County line, I need you to take cover right now. There's 231 a little north of Hunters Point. And yeah, take cover. Hartsville, nothing happening your way right now outside of some rain, but some very strong winds are just to your west. So let's go back in through here.
And we're getting a lot of power outages too, over 4,000 NES outages as we speak. So this is really knocking a ton of power. People are losing their warning systems if they do have it more so for the TV or plugged in. So please alert your friends and family, because that circulation, Leland, has been so much sustained over the past bit.
Yeah, and again, while we tell you too, with your NOAA weather radios, yeah, it's got a power plug that you can plug into the wall, but always make sure that the batteries are up to date in those things, because as some people are finding out right now, without the electricity, they need the battery back up, or they're watching us on their cell phone or the iPad right now. So if you're in this area, grab your cell phone, grab your iPad, take it, watch us on News Channel 5 now, newschannel5.com, and we will kind of walk you through what's happening here. But right now, we've got this look. Let's go back up. We'll take a live drive right now and go to Goodlettsville, and we've talked about a little bit of the damage that has been there for us this morning. I know we've got, do see some street lights through that area, but we do know that there are a host of folks out in that region who do not have electricity right now. So this is from Live Drive, headed up toward the Goodlettsville area this morning.
And I mean, we're seeing a lot of images coming in with the trees down in many areas. Here's a look for you from one of our viewers that sent this in via Twitter. Ms. Davis, you can tell that that tree is just completely demolished, really. And we're seeing a lot of trees down, and we're also dealing with high winds that are knocking the power outages over as we speak. Now, the tornado warning is staying with us, as Leland mentioned. That's going to be with us until 7:15 this morning. It is capable of producing a tornado and still moving east 45 miles per hour. This circulation, though, Leland, I mean, they're continuing to have these tornado warnings, and they're basically just moving with the storm because it's not giving up.
Yeah, and we were talking a moment ago about that second circulation that was just outside of the warning. As they redrew the warning box now, both areas are now under the tornado warning. So we've got the area there north of Castellian Springs, the area south of Castellian Springs. So two areas of circulations not far from each other, moving through Sumner County, and for the most part right now entering the Trousdale County area. So if we go in just a little closer here, you've got this area of red and green, and you've got one area there. There is that second area. So both of those have just now entering into Trousdale County. So in a moment, Sumner may be put in the clear, but until that happens, if you're in the eastern part of Sumner County, take cover until the all clear comes your way. But right now, the two areas of great concern would be 231. That's the northern extent of the road that a lot of folks take from Gallatin up toward Trousdale County there. And you can see back over near the Barthel area, back over near Davenport Lane, Sycamore Lane. So those areas right around 231, region of concern for us right now. In addition to that, you've got this second area of circulation that has now been put into a newer tornado warning, and that's the one here near Ronnie Lane, also a little north on 231, but Tim Flow Road, back over near Walnut Grove Road. This is knocking your way. The Templo community back over near Crenshaw, Honeysuckle Lane, all of this is getting ready to bear down on you as it continues now. Suffolk College Road, another area. So let me pull this out, and we'll give storm path actually on both of these cells for you now. Let's do the bottom one first. Yes, you've got one.
Here we go. We're going to go on the bottom one first. You'll notice Shady Grove Road around 7:05. This is if it stays together. Over into Rock House 7:11. Also, Hartsville, you're going to get real close to both of these. So please make sure that you are listening and staying weather aware right now. These circulations now are separated. You've got two tornado type situations, potentially moving their way just off to the east at 45 miles per hour. And these circulations have been pretty persistent over the past bit. We also have heavy rainfall around it, which does make it very difficult. And as Leland mentioned, you put on all the lightning, it is loud and can be potentially frightening as it continues to move its way just off to our east. Thankfully, though, the lightning, Leland, you have to admit, has actually decreased a bit, not a ton, but a little bit from where it has been. So that is helpful when it comes to this moving through.
Yeah, definitely so. So that's been helpful there. We will show what's happening right now. We'll bring you back over to this one, and those are the two areas there that we're watching along the State Highway 10. Hartsville, folks, there's one that's just kind of northeast of you, northwest of you. There's another one that's southwest of you. So in Hartsville, make sure that you're watching and you're taking cover. Shady Grove, you're a little south of Hartsville, so that could put you in the line of that southern circulation there that is now moving through parts of Trousdale County. So we pull this out. There's where we've got a big area of circulation. So right now, on the back edge of this, there's the county line, Sumner County and Trousdale County. So it does look like the heaviest part of this circulation, the circulation on both of these are now inside of the Trousdale County area. We put rain back on this, and you can just see all of the rain that continues through here. So even outside of this, you've got to worry about just some strong winds. Winds have been at 40 to 60 miles per hour. From time to time, we've had wind gusts up to about 70 miles per hour, and that has really produced some damage. And we talk about the power outages that are out there, but it's also led to a host of schools that are going to be on a delay today, and that includes Muhlenberg out of Kentucky, and then from Tennessee, Stewart, Houston, Dixon, Cheatham, and Hickman County. So those are the areas right now. So let's go out to Cole right now. Cole is in live drive up in the Goodlettsville area. So Cole, what do you see?
Hey, good morning, Leland. So yes, I'm just left Goodlettsville area. I'm on one of the major roads here right now, and I passed, as I was driving, this major damage of this tree. This tree is completely split in half and ripped up, and it's one of those big ones. So it's been around for quite some time, and there's another one just on this side as well. You can see that wind really rocked this area not too long ago. I'm seeing a little bit of standing water here on the side, nothing too bad, and the roads are pretty clear. There's a little bit of grass here and there, or some leaves and stuff like that from the winds most likely, but it's not really slowing anyone down too much. We're still seeing a good amount of traffic, but again, just take a look. I'm gonna actually get behind the camera here quick and zoom in on this, because it's very impressive just how strong these winds must have been. So let me get a little closer there for you. Look how much that split in half. You can just see these storms are unbelievably powerful, and it's just something that you don't want to mess around with. So if you're going to be out, please be careful. Try and avoid coming out and about if possible. But again, this is something that you don't want to get caught in if it's making its way. So just be aware of that. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Cole. Trees like that are potentially going to be down in roadways as well, so be very careful. Know that limbs and other debris might be along your pathway, as well with water, too. This is what's going on I-65 in Millersville. It happened right when the heart of that storm went through there. I-65 near 31 West. So you can see we do have an ambulance on scene. They're worried about injuries in this crash, where we've got one of two inbound 65 southbound lanes blocked. Because of that, the backup's really pushing all the way to Bethel Road and beyond, 4 miles now. If you're coming down from Robertson County, a big heads up for this. You can always take Springfield Highway as one option to the west, or you can take 31 West to the east, Louisville Highway instead. This is Madison. They were in the center lanes. You could see those messy, tough road conditions as you're heading out this morning. This was a spin around crash, single car involved, and they've just moved over to that right shoulder. So you're coming north of town on I-65 here without that car in the way anymore, but we are seeing a bit of a backup in that area as well. Thankfully, crashes aren't our major issue this morning. Crash count has remained low despite those heavy winds, rain, and even hail that we've been hearing about this morning. But roads are wet. That can always be dangerous as you're heading out and about. If you can, stay home. If you can sit it out for a little while until the thick of the storm passes your area, always what's recommended, especially as we're seeing those really, really heavy winds and rain just pelting some of our drivers this morning. Guys? Thanks so much, Rebecca. And we're continuing to get new information in. A quick reminder, if you are in a polygon, say you're in the tornado warning, don't get out. If it looks like the tornado warning is edging your direction, stay home, get in that safe spot. This tornado has been very potent over the past bit. It has not let up. It is being relentless with that circulation. And because of that, that's why our tornado warnings continue to be shifted just off to the east. So our tornado warning is continuing areas over into Macon, Smith, and Trousdale until 7:15. So now we've added Macon and Smith counties as it moves its way eastward, 45 miles per hour. And if you want to look at it on the radar, Hartsville not too long ago, Leland, we were discussing, it's heading in your direction, but you're going to have, a little bit to get to that safe spot. Well, we're here now. It's happening right now. And that's how we really want you to take it as things continue to move its way off to the east. Because of its speed and that forward motion, you're not going to have a ton of time. So if I name off your spot, Leland does, please get to a safe location. We're talking about Shady Grove, Riverfront Estate Lane, Cedar Bluff Road. You'll notice those two circulations, they're trying to basically take each other's energy, but it's still something we're keeping a very close eye on right this second, as well as seeing that over into Old Highway 25. That's going to continue to move its way eastward over into Young Branch Road over the next little bit. So you do have your tornado warning that has now been extended areas just over into Macon and Smith. I know it seems far away. I realize you're not seeing a ton in the way of rain right now as you get closer into Cartwright at Russell Hill. But as that continues to move its way eastward, you're going to be in that zone as it is moving its way north, 45 miles per hour. So very close eye on this circulation as it is being relentless, Leland.
Yeah, being relentless there. So we go back to our camera in Gallatin. So Gallatin, a lot of you in the clear now with a lot of this now to the east and southeast of where you're at. But when that rain came through, it dumped a lot of rain in a short amount of time, about 1/3 of an inch of rainfall there in a short amount of time. But this camera right now, I've moved it a bit so that it's kind of pointing to the east southeast. And that's where a lot of this activity is happening in relation to Gallatin right now. Here in Nashville, we've got some strong rain and storms that are moving through, but no tornado warnings in Davidson County. That's all now to the east northeast of Nashville. So there's the big view. We've got several flash flood warnings over the Bluegrass State. But there's the area right there. So this continues to be extended as far as the warning is concerned right now over Trousdale County. Sumner County, you are now in the clear on the tornado warning. You still have a severe thunderstorm warning in Sumner County, but right now we've got this tornado warning for Trousdale County. A little part there of Macon County, that would be south of Lafayette, and then you've got the northern part there of Smith County. That's a little north there of the Carthage area. So there are the warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings that hit several counties, even extending back over into Clay County. But within that area is where we've had circulation, and not just one. There have been several circulations that we have seen. Even if you don't get circulation, take it seriously. There has been a lot of damage. We just saw Cole a moment ago in the Goodlettsville area. Damage there. We've got downed trees in Montgomery County, Stewart County, Robertson County. There are thousands of people right now who do not have electricity on storms that were either in a tornado warned storm or just a severe thunderstorm. So no matter what the warning is, take it very seriously. So right there is Trousdale County, Hartsville. Some of this activity moving very close to you now. There's some circulation right there. So you've got these areas where you see the red next to the green, and where you see that is where we're seeing the circulation. There have been a couple of those areas this morning. Looks like one now just pulled through Hartsville. So Shady Grove, it's all close to you. You've got one near you on the southern edge of one area. Meanwhile, Shady Grove, there's another area just south of you that extends almost down to the county line with Wilson County. So there it is as it continues to move on off toward the east there. This is actually moving at a pretty good clip. So we've got Starlight Lane, Cedar Bluff Lane and Cedar Bluff Road. Those of you near Hawassi Road, Smithway Road into the Johntown community. Moving east quickly at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. There's that area of second circulation there, and that right now bearing down at Shady Grove at Lock 6 Road for us now. This is where it was a little earlier. So this was just, I just saved that a moment ago, and how quickly it's now moved through Hartsville to the east of the Hartsville area now. So Lock 6 Road, back over around Latte Reese Road, back over near M and F Lane, Saddle Lane. So all of this is moving quickly for us, Nikki D. And until these circulations die down, we need for folks to take this very seriously.
Yes, absolutely. Possible tornado just south of Hartsville with tree damage now being reported by the EMA. Again, that is Trousdale potential tree damage. Winds are continuing to gust 25 to 30 miles per hour in other locations, and the circulation has now ramped back up, as you were noting, just east of Hartsville, and we're keeping a very close eye on that. Here's that circulation, the reds and the greens. When you see those colliding, that means you've got the rotation. So areas closer into Shady Grove, Rock House, Johnstown, Dixon Springs Circle. You head your way over into locations such as Old Lafayette Road, Lick Creek Road. I know you're not seeing a ton right now, but that is booking its way eastward. We want you to be in your safe place. Young Branch Road, that circulation is continuing to move quickly into your area, and it has re-strengthened. You actually can tell that it has pulsed up just a little bit. So still dealing with a tornado warning for our friends moving its way eastward, 45 miles per hour. A lot of rain associated with a ton of lightning. It is electric. It is very loud. And we are getting multiple reports that trees are currently down. Multiple power outages down. If you are in this red polygon, do not get out. Stay home. Go to the lower level of your home. Your safety is first. If you do not have a basement, we urge you to please then go to the center of your house. Have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Here's a closer look for you. That's where we're seeing that circulation ramping back up closer into Shady Grove, Rock House, Cedar Bluff Road, as well as going its way Young Branch Road. That's going to eventually move into your area. And we're getting potential reports, more power outages, and it actually has shifted as this storm has moved its way eastward. These gusty winds within the system itself, the forward motion, is causing power outages, causing trees down. And then we've got another issue when it comes to the potential for this circulation. Still something very concerning, especially right into Rock House, continue over into Johnstown, moving eastward, Young Branch Road for you guys.
Yeah, and so a host of folks are without electricity. The last report I see out of NES, about 4,000 customers without electricity right now. Those numbers are up in Sumner, Stewart, Robertson, Montgomery, and Cheatham counties. They are all having areas that are without electricity at this time. So we need for you all to just, if you need weather information, grab the smartphone, grab the iPad to follow us. If you are in a warning area, hold off leaving for work, hold off leaving for school until this system is to the east of you. And right now, that area of concern would be Trousdale County, back over around Stewart County, Macon County, Smith County. So if you are in a warning area, especially a tornado warning, let this get past you, because we know that when we had the warnings yesterday, in our area we get what we call these rain-wrapped tornadoes, and so they're hard to see because they're hidden behind this wall of water, the rain coming down.
And they're very deceiving. And of course, we've been dealing with these throughout the morning. We do have a handful of schools that will be on a delay. You'll notice those over into Stewart, Houston, Dixon, portions of Cheatham, Hickman, and Benton. You guys are on, I believe, a 2-hour delay, but of course follow up, as some will be changing as we go throughout the morning time frame. And Leila, I know we've been focusing a lot on this tornado warning because that's our main event right now, but we've got heavy showers and storms all the way down south, and we're getting indication that we're even seeing wires down on the southern end of Brentwood. That's around Moore's Lane area. So there's a lot of locations that are dealing with the lightning, power outages, as well as trees down.
And if you hit an area where power lines are down in the road, consider them live, okay? Hopefully you don't have to run into that, but if you run into an area where there's a power line down across the road or a utility pole across the road, consider it live until you're told otherwise by your local utility district there this morning. Right now, though, we continue to keep an eye on this warning, and you had some new information coming in.
We do. We have a significant weather advisory for northeastern Marshall, Rutherford, northeastern Williamson, as well as Coffee, portions of Wilson, Bedford, going into the 7:30 hour. We're going to continue after this.
All right. Right now, you are watching News Channel 5 WTVF television in Nashville as we continue right now with severe weather warning that we've been watching throughout News Channel 5 this morning. And again, the tornado warning that we're keeping an eye on is to our northeast of Nashville right now. It's Trousdale County, Smith County, Macon County is where we're seeing our biggest area of concern right now. And this continues to intensify, then dies down a little bit. But right now, the warning level is there that this tornado warning continues.
And I mean, really has been pulsing up and down over the last little bit. So please heed warning with this. Even if you do not have that tornado that actually moves right into your location, you still are dealing with multiple trees, power lines down from this cell that has just continued to hang on tight. So here's a closer look for you when it comes to those roads. Shady Grove, you're beginning to see a clearer situation as we go our way just off to our east. You'll notice areas closer into Wilburn Hollow Road, Young Branch Road, as well as into areas closer into our eastern extent, moving over into Graveltown. We want you to take those precautions. This cell is moving fast. So Pleasant Shade, I know you're a little bit away. Graveltown, I know you're a little ways away as well, but it is moving eastward 45 miles per hour, and it's not taking any breaks as it does move its way. So a lot of rain, lightning, intense winds associated with this, but right now we do have indication of circulation. That's why we have a tornado warning that is currently with us, still staying with us for Smith, Trousdale, and that's going to be until 7:15. It's got the capabilities of producing a tornado. It is not just this area, though, of concern. We've got several other locations bringing in a significant weather advisory that includes areas to our south, as well as Marshall, Rutherford, Williamson, Coffee, Wilson, Bedford, Cannon. Now, none of these currently, Leland, have the circulation issue, but they are causing multiple trees to be down.
Yeah, so multiple trees are down right now. So even outside of these tornadic winds, we've got very strong winds, 40 to 60 miles per hour. And if your area picked up rain yesterday, Nashville had just under 2 inches of rain yesterday, and you get strong winds on top of that, any shallow-rooted trees, it wouldn't take much for the wind to knock those over and just knock them down into your yard, or worse, knock them down over power lines. And we've got a host of power outages out there. So there is the wide view of what's happening now. Nashville, we are in the clear. There's rain, but nothing severe. The severe warnings at the moment are to the east of Nashville. They include Wilson County. They also include now parts of Putnam County, DeKalb County, back over into Jackson, Macon, and over into Clay counties. But within that, almost center of that warning is the tornado warning that is now to the east of Hartsville. So Hartsville, you still have strong wind, strong rain, but the biggest core of this tornado warning now is just to your east along State Highway 10, and there it is there. So I'm going to pull this back out, and let's give you an updated warning path on what we're seeing right now. So it's been moving here northeast at about 40, 45 miles per hour. So with this, those of you in the Graveltown Road, those of you back over around the Difficult community, Baghdad Church area, Rough Point are a couple of spots. Now, those of you in Gainesboro, should this hold together, then it could cross the county line into Jackson County and push your way. But let's go back in and now get you oriented with a couple of the streets through here. Where are some areas that really need to be taking cover right now, where this circulation continues to show up very well defined? So you see the Cato area there. There is Wilburn Hollow Road. We've also got Nickajack Road. Graveltown, if you're in Graveltown, this is pushing close to you, and the road that pushes through Graveltown up toward State Highway 80. This is coming close to you right now. So those of you around Young Branch Road, those of you around the Pleasant Shade community, again, this is moving your way. way. So the big concern right now would be Gammons Lane, Nickajack Road. But as you push towards State Highway 80 and Graveltown, those of you at Stone Branch, those of you around Lone Branch, and back over around Friendship Hollow Road Lane, some other areas that need to go ahead and take cover because the center of this circulation is moving towards you, and again, moving at a good clip right now at about 45 miles per hour.
And that forward motion is why it's so important that if you are ahead of this storm, that you are continuing to keep a very close eye out. Getting new information, NES now has 4,200 power outages right now, and please be patient. It may take a little bit to get this power up and running for some of you. I understand that is aggravating, but we want our wonderful friends, engineers that go out there to stay safe as well, because this system is not finished yet. It continues to move its way just off to our east. Still dealing with that circulation that is not letting up. Pleasant Shade, we want you to get to your safe place because you are just in the line of the system moving into your location, moving eastward 45 miles per hour. Multiple notes of reports, another power pole being blocked on a road that is just south of Cross Bridges. So if you can stay home right now, stay put, because this system is continuing to move its way off to the east. Right now, the only tornado warning that we currently do have are for areas right around into Trousdale that is moving its way eastward. We still are seeing that around into Smith as well. That's going to be with us until 7:15 this morning, so around 10 minutes from now. We do have several other situations that are bringing significant weather advisories for areas down into Williamson County as well as closer into the Murfreesboro area. You can tell that line is just making its way. A lot of cloud to ground lightning. Also getting reports of some hail associated with it. But our main focus, our main concern obviously right now is this tornado warning that is continuing to move its way eastward 45 miles per hour. And of course, the tornado warning circulation is now moving into northern Smith County near Dixon Springs. If that really helps you identify where we are looking at and what we are seeing right now. Moving at 45 miles per hour, when you've got the reds and the greens interlocked, that means you've got circulation. And of course, that circulation is indicated by the radar. At this time, we do not have any storm spotter recognition which is on the surface, but as you know, you don't have to have it on the surface to do damage. These straight line winds are really taking out power left and right, as well as damaging trees all across the area. Just to kind of put it in perspective, this was over in Goodlettsville, and I mean, just taking out some of these trees and of course those power lines as we go into the morning. So when it comes to what we do have warning and watch wise, just about everybody is under a severe thunderstorm watch. That means we have the capabilities. That's going to be until 11 o'clock. As far as severe thunderstorm warnings, we're going into areas such as Macon, Clay, Jackson, Trousdale, Smith, Wilson, just east Putnam, as well as DeKalb. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have some high winds in other places. That is why we have that significant weather advisory. Areas basically south of I-40, where you're still dealing with a lot and ton of cloud to ground lightning.
Yeah, a ton of cloud to ground lightning that is out there, so be careful with all of that. Just to kind of update you, and I'll note that this list is on our website at newschannel5.com, but in the wake of some of these storms, a host of schools have announced they are going to be on a delay. Most of these are on a 2-hour delay today, but go to the website at newschannel5.com for the latest. You have Muhlenberg County, you have Stewart, Houston, Dixon, Cheatham, Hickman, and Benton County there. Parents, students, make sure you stay on top of this. For now, they have gone with a 2-hour delay in most of these areas. Sometimes they use that to buy time to see whether or not they may need to close for the day. And part of that may depend upon how quickly they're able to get electricity back to some of those areas that are served by schools. So this is our wide view with the tornado warning right here. We've got most of the activity that's the strongest, the severe part of the storms, northeast of Nashville. Franklin, Williamson County, Columbia, Murray County, back into the Pulaski area, Giles County, Lawrence County. You've got some heavy rain your way. It has been strong. It has been loud, but below severe limits right now. It's this area right here where we're seeing the red and the green right next to each other, where we've got a little bit of this rotation that has stayed very well defined here. So if you are now west of this area, Cato, Johntown, you've now been put in the clear. So right now around Pleasant Shade, back over around Graveltown, difficult to take cover right now. This is pushing your way, but very well defined circulation there along State Highway 80 for us this morning. Here's the wider view so I can kind of do a storm path for you. This is moving to the east here at about 45 miles per hour. So Cartwright, Rough Point to Gainsboro. If it were to hold together and then be extended into Jackson County, then you can see even Jackson County Hospital, one of the areas that could be in the line of the storm itself. So there we go, Trousdale County. For the moment, it's really Trousdale County that's under most of this. A little part of Smith County that's under this. And actually, let me correct that. Trousdale County, you're actually now in the clear. So we're actually talking the northern part here of Smith County. So Trousdale County, you're now in the clear. With this, Macon County, you're in the clear. It's this area here of Smith County. So there's Carthage. Some of you all know that when you drive I-40 and see that rest stop there in the Carthage area. But just a little north of that is where we've got our circulation right now. And right here, Pleasant Shade, this is bearing down on you right now. So I need for you, my friends, to get in a safe place at this point. Take cover. Find a good place that you know in your home that is here. So this is in the Pleasant Shade area. I got a new picture that has come in. Let me show you this out of the Gallatin area, and actually a tree down on a car up there. And so again, we've had a host of these trees down all over. This, I believe they said, is the Gallatin area, but we've had trees down in numerous counties. Thousands of people are waking up without electricity right now. So if you are back in Smith County, your Storm Shield app has just recently gone off. This is the reason why. So we've got this area of circulation bearing down on State Highway 80 right in through here. So a couple of the streets, I'll step out of the way so you can kind of see some of those streets there. Pleasant Shade, State Highway 80, back over around Sloan Branch Road. There's the newer update in. So Tony Hollow Road, Friendship Road are a couple of areas there. Let me slide this up just a bit so we can get it north of the banner there and give you a little better idea of where we're seeing the circulation right now. So we slide that. So right now through here is where we've got the area of circulation right now. So again, now it's just along and now east of State Highway 80. Tony Hollow Lane. It's moving almost east-southeast. So Friendship Hollow Road, Dilly-Hay Hollow Road, Difficult Road. So some areas where this storm cell continues to move on off toward the east. And I think a little newer information coming in on this.
Yeah, and it slowed down just a little bit. It was at 45 miles per hour. Now it's moving eastward at 35. So that does make it a little concerning since it has slowed down just a little bit. Please be mindful. We still are dealing with a tornado warning. Right now, this cell is just not wanting to give up. Right now, the tornado potential is located 9 miles north of Carthage, or if you're more familiar, near Pleasant Shade. It's moving east 35 miles per hour. So you've got Carthage, and then you've got this moving its way eastward. So when it comes down to the roads, I mean, we're talking about the same places. Pleasant Shade, you head your way over into Little Salt Lick Road, as well as Harris Hollow Road. That continues to move its way just off to our eastern locations as we speak. So keeping a very close eye on this cell, as well as many of you going, well, what about my house? I totally get it. We understand. It is loud and it is frightening. We still are picking up several storms south of I-40. None of these at this time are making the severe criteria. However, we are picking up damage over portions closer into Murfreesboro, even Columbia. And just to show you the rotation, we're not seeing too much of that as of right now, which is some good news. Keeping a close eye on some broad rotation, though, Leland, closer into Lewisburg as that storm system continues to move eastward. But right now, our only tornado warning is areas to our north, and it's the same situation we've been talking about. So Graveltown, Cartwright. But our Cole is out live this morning. And Cole, you've actually been surveying some damage as storms continue to move their way eastward.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Nikki D. So I'm actually in Goodlettsville right now along Louisville highway, and it is very busy when it comes to the road. I have the camera under the trunk right now to keep it dry, but things are pretty backed up here. But I did want to point out that there are some trees down just over here a little bit that way, but I wanted to come to this spot specifically. I know it doesn't look like much, but there's a down power line, and actually driving down this way, I drove either over or right next to one of those power lines, which you got to be paying attention to those because it blends in so well with the sticks and everything else on the ground. Those can be incredibly dangerous, especially when they're hanging right by a house here. And I've noticed some people, or at least one person, was picking up some of their sticks in their front yard. When you're seeing these down power lines, act like they're live. Go in with that mindset because those can be incredibly dangerous, and you want to make sure to call those in so they can be dealt with. But again, if you're going to be on Louisville Highway at all, in between or right next to Goodlettsville rather, it is very backed up coming one way. So just be aware of that when you're going to be heading out. I would recommend staying home or just packing your patience because the weather's still not great. I'm seeing a lot of lightning, hearing some pretty loud thunder here and there, and then just the rain on and off. Makes for not a really fun drive heading into work, guys.
And please, at all, we really want you to stay home if you do not have to get out on the roadways as the system continues to move its way off to the east. Still dealing with our tornado warning. A lot of cloud to ground lightning taking shape with this closer into Cartwright. Pleasant Shade that is moving its way eastward. So Rough Point, you want to go ahead and get in your safe space. You are under a tornado warning. That system is moving your direction 35 miles per hour. Cub Creek, that's another location we want you to be in your safe place as well as it continues to move its way. I know it seems silly. Maybe you're not hearing too much right now, but it's about to get loud. We still have that rotation. When you've got the reds and the greens this close together, you are noticing some of that circulation. Also, right around over to Highway 25. Highway 25 at Highway 10, we're getting trees blocking the roadway. That's around Domestic Street, and that is some power lines down for you guys. And of course, with the power lines down, that also means that you're without power in a lot of spots. So please check on your friends and family. Still picking up on that rotation as it moves its way just off to our east. It continues to pulse up and down. So it strengthens, then it weakens, and that's what makes it so fickle. That's why we've been keeping a very close eye on this warning and this circulation throughout the entire morning. One thing is for certain, as this cell has moved its way all the way to the east. Remember, it started closer into White House, Gallatin, and now look where we're going. This has caused numerous power outages as it moves its way through. A quick reminder as we're going through, we do have several schools that are on a delay, some 2-hour delay, some that are even longer than that. So please pay attention to your school. You'll notice it is at the bottom of our screen and on our website. Stewart, Dixon, Hickman, you guys are on a 2-hour delay, as well as Cheatham County. Even though that system has passed, we're still dealing with some of those issues and getting more indication of some issues over in Gallatin, Leland, as far as the tornadic activity.
Yeah, so we've had some issues and some power lines that have been down in the Gallatin area. So far, we continue to watch the outages too that have come in, and we would love to get that video on air if we can here in a bit. But let's show you what's happening right now. First up, let me bring you back onto the map here. Number one, the warning. So there's Nashville toward the kind of a centered left of screen. Almost in the center of the screen are the warnings that we have right now. And we've got a host of counties that are under severe thunderstorm warnings. Winds in those warnings have been 40, 50 miles per hour. We just showed you a tree down in one spot. Coal was out in another part of Sumner County. So even with just a severe thunderstorm warning, you could have some trees that may down some power lines or may down some trees that knock over power lines. Within this, we've got the tornado warning. So the newer outline of this is just one tornado warning, but now it extends from the northern part of Smith County back over into Jackson County. So for a lot of folks who make that trip from Nashville to Cookeville or Nashville to Knoxville, there's I-40 almost at the bottom of the screen. So you get over to the Carthage area, you get over to Gordonsville. There are a couple of little stops there that people like to make. We're talking about areas just north of I-40 along a couple of popular traveler stops along the way to Knoxville over in the Smith County area. So it's in the northern part of Smith Smith County, north of Carthage right now, along State Highway 85, State Highway 80. That extends into Kingsborough and Jackson County. So we were talking a moment ago that Jackson County, and we pointed out Jackson County Hospital. Jackson County Hospital, at least the core of the storm could be pushing your way. So let's put radar information back on. And so now you know the county outline and the warning outline. This is where all of the rain is happening for us now. So we've got heavy rain from Lafayette to Carthage, but it's that northern part of the county in Smith County and back over into Jackson County where we've got concern. Let's see what we're seeing on circulation right now. Yeah, it's there, but it's not as well defined as it was a little earlier. You got a couple of spots here. There's one little area that's almost right through here that has a little bit of circulation with it for us this morning. And then you've got the other area there that just isn't as well defined as it was. For now, though, the warning continues. As Nikki D pointed out, these things kind of pulse up and down. So when it looks like it may be getting ready to weaken a little bit, it strengthens again. The rotation strengthens again. So if you are through here, that's kind of identify of what is happening here. And as we go in, we've got some video ready, and if they will kind of give us a heads up on what we're looking at here.
So, this is actually, I thought it was a different video. This is out of Gallatin. We were seeing some earlier on. This is actually sent in from the National Weather Service. It was from someone viewing it from the front of their apartment building. A big thank you to them for sending this in to us. Obviously, a ton of rain as this was taking place over in Gallatin around the 6:21 time frame. Heavy rain, and you can tell that you've got a lot of wind involved with it. Tons of lightning. And as we go throughout the video a little bit longer, there's actually even some power outages. And look at that cloud right there.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
And so again, this is out of the storm cell as it was moving through Gallatin and Sumner County a little bit earlier this morning.
Look at that, Leland.
Wow, yeah.
Goodness. And then, I mean, when you have a tornadic situation like this, you know, we've got the rotation that we're seeing on the radar. And then you've got the lowering of the cloud, and it actually has some of that circulation from the ground. It meets up in the middle, and that's what makes these things so frightening and very fast to develop. And there you go, right there. This is actually some footage over from Gallatin from this morning, taken not too long ago. That's why when we continue to talk about these storms pulsing up and down, it is so important that you take it seriously. I understand it is aggravating because they have been so fickle with us. You know, they're not just doing one thing, they're going back and forth. Please heed the warnings. When we tell you there's a tornado warning, that's what we're looking at. You want to go to the lowest level of your home. Stay home if at all possible until this does pass its way. Still dealing with a tornado warning for us for areas just off same cell that we showed you just over into Gallatin. Same exact one that continues to move its way just off to the east, Leland.
Yeah, so this is the same exact one that's off to the east for us this morning. And right now we're on the edge of Smith County. So we bring that in. You see a little bit of the circulation there that shows up around the Cartwright area, back over around Difficult, and now continuing to pull toward the east. So the line that you see in the center there, that dark line between Cartwright and Milltown, that's the county line between Smith County and back over into Jackson County. So there you see right there where Nikki D has just drawn the arrow. That's the county line. So those of you in Milltown, those of you at Cup Creek, Rough Point, some of this is sliding your way. So we've seen that there's damage on a host of counties out there. So make sure that if we call out your county, if we call out your part of the county, we identify your street, then we need for you to take cover, get the kids, get them in a safe location, grab a mattress off the twin bed or something like that, or grab a pillow or a helmet so that you've got at least some protection. Right now, there is the view of this now moving into the Jackson County area. Quite a bit of lightning that is showing up with this as well for us this morning. If I did a lightning count just on that area right there, you've got nearly 200 lightning strikes that are showing up. So not only are we dealing with heavy wind and rain, we're dealing with a very loud storm right now. Let me pull this back in. We'll kind of identify a few of the streets here. So first up, communities. Cartwright community. Kempville. Milltown, and this is getting closer to you. Gladys getting closer to you. The circulation is a little bit just to the west of you, Milltown and Gladys, but again, some of the heavier rain now moving in. Those of you at Cup Creek, those of you at Rough Point, a couple of areas where, again, some stronger rain are now moving in. So we've got the communities. Let's kind of identify a few of the streets that we need to be aware of. Gladys Road, Salt Lake Creek Road, East Fork Road, Brooks Bend Road, Carl Dixon Lane are a couple of the areas there. And then a little north of that on the northern edge of the warning, you've got Cox Hollow Road and then back over around Sneed Hollow Road. So there is the storm cell there as it continues now to move east. We give you kind of a newer update on the warning outline here. So right on the edge of that, moving east here at around 45 miles per hour. So Milltown, Gainsboro, Columbus Hill, Burrstown are some areas here that could be impacted by this. As we tell you, the time right now is 7:24. You see Milltown at 7:28, Gainsboro 7:43, and the Columbus Hill area there at 7:47. So this is where we've got our big area of concern. We still have a little bit of rotation that is showing up through here. So I'll put rotation back on. It's not as well defined as it was a little earlier, but still enough that this warning continues for us right now. And actually, there's another little area there that's just outside of the warning. If you're down around Granville, that's over in Jackson County. They have a lot of festivities there in Granville with that little pretty community that sits on the Cumberland River. If you're in Granville, go ahead and take cover. You're not under an official warning, but there's a little bit of circulation there that is back over around Holloman Bend Road, kind of like almost northwest of Granville, Brooks Bend. So that also sliding east. So we've got that area there that's just on the edge, just on the outside of the warning. And then we still again see circulation within the warning itself, but not to the degree it was earlier. So we'll see if this continues for a while. But right now, I think the actual tornado warnings are out for about another 10 to 15 minutes here until about 7:45 for us right now.
And a lot of people are asking, what about school closures? We do have several school closures that we are looking at. You'll notice a brand new one over in Stewart that will be dealing with that closure. We've got delays in Benton, Houston, as well as going closer over to Cheatham, Dixon, and Hickman counties. These are continuing to roll in as we go throughout the morning hours. So yes, there are some schools that are closed and some schools that are delayed. This is the first ban that's currently moving through. We will see another ban this afternoon. So some of you are saying, okay, is it completely clear for me now? Can I go about my business? We want you to know you need to stay weather aware as we go throughout the afternoon because we're looking to see more of this moving its way through. So a lot happening. A lot of power outages are also down. Please be patient with the power coming back on. I know a lot of you are streaming us live via social media or on the app. Please be patient. I know it's aggravating, but we've got a lot of wonderful men and women that are getting out there to keep us all safe and get that power back on. But they've got to get out there at the appropriate time when we're not dealing with so much lightning. So just for instance, look at all the lightning that is currently coming in. This system has been so electric. It has been loud since it started. And that timing was around 3 o'clock this morning as it was knocking on our door. We have had numerous tornado warnings since then, and we've had several indications that we still are dealing with, obviously trees that are falling as this situation continues to move in. We do have a new tornado warning. This is for DeKalb, Putnam, and Smith counties until 8 o'clock. Again, that is for DeKalb, Putnam, and Smith counties until 8 o'clock. It is moving its way east at 50 miles per hour. It was located just 8 miles northwest of Smithville and continues to move its way just off to the east. So this is a brand new tornado warning for us. DeKalb, Putnam, Smith, that goes into the 8 o'clock time frame. Let's look at what's going on as far as the rotation is concerned. And you know, this system has just been so persistent, but also with a lot of ebbs and flows of pulsing up and down. So we'll keep a very close eye on this as it does move at a rapid pace, Leland. right at that 50-mile-per-hour mark.
Yeah, so moving 50 miles per hour. So those are the warnings there. And let me show you this one so you can kind of see a better outline of the two distinct warnings that we're watching. The one that's north of Granville is the one we've been watching here for the last little bit that made its way through Trousdale County. The one that you see now in Buffalo Valley north of Smithville, that is the brand new tornado warning that is out for us this morning. And was looking at the circulation right here. So look at, there's the Liberty community. Liberty is another one of those areas that's just inside of DeKalb County. So back over near Temperance Hill for us right now is where we've got some concern. So right in through here right now, and right around the Temperance Hill area for us this morning. Let me now take you in and get some of the streets identified here. So a couple of streets that will pop up, the Helton area, Lower Helton Road, Oakley Road, Smith Fork Road, and Kaplinger Hollow Road. Also around the Indian Creek Camp Road and Cabin Circle Drive. So let's do a new storm path on the brand new warning. And it too continues now here to move on off toward the east. So we'll put a path on this for you right now. And on the core of that storm cell right now as it moves eastward here, Temperance Hill. Coming up, there's the Temperance Hill School, Temperance Hall School, Second Creek Methodist Church, which is a historical church back over that way, Cherry Hill, and back over near Nash. In addition to that, they've actually just updated to some warnings. So warnings have now been extended to into Putnam County. So most of Putnam County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, a little corner of it under a tornado warning. New severe thunderstorm warnings now out for Overton County, Pickett County, and then back over into the Clay County area for us this morning.
And here's a broader view for you so you can kind of get a better perspective of what we got, because I know if you head your way down south of I-40, you're thinking, okay, am I under something? Because it is so loud and the winds are gusting. Currently, you are not. We have had significant weather advisories for you, but you have not yet met the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. But right now, we do have a tornado warning in place for DeKalb, Putnam, and Smith that goes until 8 o'clock. We're picking up on some rotation that is moving its way eastward around 50 miles per hour. We've got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, DeKalb, Fentress, Jackson, Overton, Pickett, Putnam, and White. I realize some of those are also indicated in the tornado warning. We're seeing some of that overlap. The severe thunderstorm warning is going to be with us until 8:15. This is the bulk of where we've seen the power outages take place, is from this particular portion of this large system that's making its way in. Looking to see more power outages as this moves in. Now, not saying that we don't have the steam to our south, because we truly do. There is a lot of steam with this situation, a lot of pea-sized hail, and obviously tons of lightning. But when it comes to the more intense wind, we're seeing it areas where we do have the severe thunderstorm warnings in place. We're also, that's the same spots that we're picking up on the potential for tornadoes. We have had indication of multiple tornadoes earlier on, and we're still dealing with some of that rotation with some of these little fickle cells, and they keep pulsing up and pulsing down. That's why we urge you not to put your guard down as of yet. Even though it may not look like the pulse we had a few minutes ago in one spot, there's a good chance that it could pulse back. So here is our tornado warning that is currently with us. It's moving east 50 miles per hour. If you are in around Oakley Road, Carter Hollow, Indian Creek Camp Road, Long Branch Road, even going over into Harbor Point Drive, we want you to get to your safe spot immediately. This is moving rather quickly. You may not see a ton of rain right now. You've got that lighter rain closer into Buffalo Valley and just off to the east, but it's going to move into your direction quite quickly, and it's going to be rain wrapped. It's going to be very difficult for some of you to see because we will have so much rain associated with it. Other views a little better, but it's going to move in at a very quick pace, pushing its way eastward. And this cell has been the one that has caused multiple trees down, multiple power outages. So we want you to get to the very bottom of your house. If you've got a basement, get to your basement. If you don't have a basement, put as many walls between you and the outside wall as possible. So get the children's bike helmets, put them on their heads, find them a little game that they can do in their safe place, because we don't want, mommy, I need a snack and he didn't get out. You want to stay put until this tornado warning is over. Also, stay off the roadways. I realize you may be over into Harbor Point Drive. It's not too wet right now, but this is moving eastward 50 miles per hour. We do have a tornado warning, and this is pulsed back up quite quickly, Leland.
Yeah, so we'll watch that. Also, we wanted to let you know that these storms have produced a history of damage this morning. So we're going to go out to the Jolton area where they had a damage. And actually, this is where the tornado warning first was forming, or circulation forming, when they prompted a tornado warning over northern Davidson County. So right now, let's check in with Aaron Cantrell, who is out in the Jolton area. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Leland. So you can see here behind me, this tree fell down in the front yard of this house here on Greenbrier Road. And thankfully, this tree barely missed the house. So it got a little bit of the siding there, but those strong winds came through and knocked down all these tree limbs, this tree. And I do want to let everyone know we did knock on the house of the door and no one came to the door, but hopefully everyone is okay. But we did check to see if everyone was okay. But these are some of the situations we're seeing here in the Jolton area, just trees down like this, also tree limbs across the road. And there's some areas on the roads as well where water is starting to build up. So if you can, just stay home if at all possible. But if you're going to be on the roads here in the Jolton area, that rain is coming down and there are puddles and flooding potentially happening on the roadway, so you have to be mindful of that. But this situation here is very scary, and thankfully, as it looks, no one was injured. But this is what we're seeing just across the Jolton area here. But we're going to continue to monitor everything out here and see how everything goes. But we're going to send it back to you all in the studio.
All right. Thank you very much, Aaron. We've got some other pictures that have come in as well. Aaron is in Jolton, so let's go a little north and northeast of Jolton into White House. White House sits on the Robertson County, Sumner County line, and so there are images there from White House. And Nikki D, as we've talked about, we've got a trail of damage over a host of counties. And they'll go out later to see if any of it's tornadic, but in some cases, it's just straight line winds at 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, we were getting multiple reports from these. These are thanks to Smoky Barn News sending these images into us. A big thank you to our wonderful partners who have went out there once it was clear to do so. But you'll notice power lines down. You've got a part of a house that has collapsed, actually, when it comes to, I believe, like a front porch, seeing that down on the ground. If you see any wires, treat them as they are live. It's very difficult to tell if they are or not. Your safety comes first. I mean, look at this damage. You can tell as well, a lot of this is straight line winds, but we had multiple tornado warnings. Within these, the National Weather Service will go out and assess. The reason we're showing you what's coming in from Smoky Barn News over in White House is because areas to our east, we still have the same cluster of cells producing tornado warnings as we speak. We still have that same cluster of cells moving its way eastward with these straight line winds. We want you to know what to expect. And now that it's getting daylight, sometimes people's curiosity goes up. Please, use your head, get to that safe place. We want you to be smart about the situation. We'll go back and look at the photos later. We have plenty of Nest cameras elsewhere, TDOT cameras. Your safety is first. If you are under a tornado warning, which we still have 2 in play, we want you to immediately get to your safe spot. If you've got friends and family, portions of Putnam County, you wonder if they're still snoozing, give them a call. See if they are in their safe location, because we still have those tornado warnings with us. It's moving 50 miles per hour for DeKalb, Putnam, and Smith counties. That will expire around 8 o'clock. But if it's anything like the past several tornado warnings, it moves eastward as the cell continues to move eastward. When it comes to those winds, the circulation, remember, they're pulsing up and down. We still have that circulation for us taking place just south of Lancaster that's moving over into Silver Point. So if you're in the area, we want you to get close to your safe place, as well as Cherry Hill. Coconut Ridge Road, you want to be in your safe location. Indian Creek Camp Road, get to the bottom level of your home. If you do not have a basement, put as many walls between you and the outside. If you are in a trailer, we want you to plan ahead, because it's going to be better for you to be in a more sturdy location. So Silver Point, if you are in a mobile home, make those plans, get to that safe spot, because we do not want you out on the roadway. This storm system is moving quickly, right around 50 miles per hour. I know we keep harping on the tornado warnings, but those are our more severe situations that we've got right now. Here's some rotations still around into Cub Creek, as well as areas just off into Fort Blunt Ferry Road. So 2 separate circulations taking place with that this morning. A very fickle situation making its way.
All right, so this is the wide view again of what's happening. We've got a host of warnings that we're watching from the Tennessee-Kentucky state line and now into our southern and southeastern areas. Nashville right now, some rain and a little bit of thunderstorm activity, but the heaviest of this is through here. Now, I want to point out that we're talking severe weather. This is round 2. We had round 1 yesterday. Stay weather aware. We're going to get this through here. We're going to get a bit of a break, my friend. May even get a little sunshine, which would be a bad thing to destabilize things, but the actual front still has to come through overnight tonight. So until the front is through here, the severe weather threat remains, and so more strong to severe storms are a possibility as we go late today and overnight. But right now, we've got 2 areas here that are the storm warnings, tornado warnings that we're watching. We've got one that continues right now into Jackson County. There's Smith County there, so State Highway 80 and then 85 back over into the Jackson County area. Looks like the rotation is right there. So a good chunk of Smith County may be in good shape here, but we're watching a little bit of the circulation. It's not as well defined as it was, but right there at State Highway 62. It's outside of the warning area, but we've seen a little bit of circulation down around Granville at times as well, back over into Jackson County. So there is the warning there. And again, a lot of Smith County may be in the clear. It's back over into Jackson County that we're watching. So there's the first warning. Here is the second one. The second one now takes us toward DeKalb County, Buffalo Valley. This is actually along I-40 right there. So I-40, just as you get ready to go up into Putnam County, there's a big rest stop area there that a lot of folks know kind of as a landmark right as you're about to enter the Putnam County area right there just before Buffalo Valley. And so this is kind of that area that we're talking about right now at the moment. So there's Buffalo Valley, there's I-40. It looks like maybe a little bit more of that better defined circulation is just to the south there of Buffalo Valley. So that would put us into DeKalb County right now. So right here from DeKalb County, and again, you've got circulation where we've got the red and the green. That's winds, different levels, different speeds going back and forth toward radar. The red is away, the green is toward. So if you get them next to each other, that's that circulation that's being picked up. And we've had a history of damage with some of our storms this morning. So if you're in this area, especially now south of Buffalo Valley, there's the Liberty community right there. So Liberty would be as you were coming in out of Watertown. So right there is what we're watching here for you this morning. Going a little bit closer, kind of identify a few more of these roads through here. Kingdom Road for us this morning, Coconut Road, and back over around Floating Mill Road. And Nikki D would be a couple of areas that are a big concern. Craft Center, but there's the circulation right in through there. So this is sliding east here at around 45 miles per hour.
And let's take things down just to our south. A lot of people are asking, okay, is it safe where I am? I'm not under a tornado warning. Can I go about my business? Well, we still have a lot of storms out there. Hohenwald, you're currently in the clear, as well as Columbia. But look, we've got another a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in place for our southern locations. So not only do we have our tornado warnings, we also are dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings that now include Bedford, Cannon, Coffee, DeKalb, Rutherford, Warren. Also seeing Lincoln, Moore. That goes until 8:45. And we're also seeing several reports, Lawrence County, where right around that highway, right around 348 highway, there are 20 houses with that are trailers, and they've actually been damaged. That's why we want you to plan ahead if you are in a mobile home, because we are seeing some damage to those mobile home areas. So still dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings south of these tornado warnings. Of course, our main priority right now are the tornado warnings when you've got the circulation, but don't be deceived, because we are picking up quite a bit of heavy rain and a lot of lightning within each and every one of these as they book their way off to the east, right around 45 miles per hour. Now, we've got some new video in from Jackson County. Let's take a look at this and see what's going on. as far as Jackson County is concerned.
All right, so just, I mentioned Granville a moment ago. So Granville is that pretty little community that sits on the Cumberland River over that way. They've got a little historic center there, but some lowering clouds. Don't see much in the way of circulation, but this is an area that we were pointing out a moment ago that had some circulation with it. So this is back over in Jackson County near Granville. That would be a little to the southwest of the Gainsborough area, which is the more well-known community back over in Jackson County for us right now. So we bring you back on radar for you right now, and we've got two areas that we're watching.
A big thank you to Laura Peck that sent in that video for us from a safe distance. We thank you, Laura. It helps to have, you guys are our eyes and ears, but we only want you to do it from a safe location.
Yeah, definitely so. So here's radar again. We've got two areas that we're watching for you this morning. This one is a better way to kind of identify where we've got warnings. So we've got a host of warnings, and those warnings right now pretty much go from the Tennessee Kentucky state line and now extend all the way down to the Tennessee-Alabama state line. So you've got severe thunderstorm warnings now out of the Coffee County area, Bedford County, Moore County, back into Fayetteville. So you've got severe storm warnings your way, and there's a lot of heavy rain. There is a lot of lightning that is showing up in this area. We put in just a lightning countdown through here, and just in that box that you see, there are about 450 lightning strikes down within this area. So again, we've got warnings now, severe thunderstorm warnings all the way down in the southern middle Tennessee. To the north of that, though, is where it's the greatest concern, because these are actual tornado warnings here. And so you've got one in Jackson County, the one in the DeKalb County area that moves along into parts of Putnam County. And so we've seen a couple of areas of circulation for us this morning. Let's go in right here. So got a little area where you see the red and the green next to each other. So that's where I have a little bit of concern for us this morning. So those of you around Williams Crossroads, those of you around Buckner, so State Highway 56 down that way is what we're watching. Then you throw in some of the streets. So if we call out your streets, be careful down through here. Take cover. Coconut Ridge, Big Hurricane Road, the Buckner community itself, and then those of you around Parsley. So this is moving east here at about 45 miles per hour. So it will not take it any time at all to get to Buckner, cross State Highway 56, and then make it over toward Puckett Point Road, back over around Allen Ferry Road. And as we go east of that, then you can see the Johnson Chapel area there. So it's right here. You can see kind of the well-defined where the green and the red are right next to each other, where we've got a little area of circulation that continues for us this morning. So this is kind of where we're seeing some of the possible tornado winds here. So if you're in this area where we've got the rotation marker, need for you to take cover. Big Hurricane Road, Coconut Ridge, back over around Rolling Acres Road, down around the Phillip community. Take cover. Bring this back out. There's a look at the rain that continues throughout this entire area. So even if you're not dealing with tornadic winds, you are dealing with strong wind, strong rain, heavy downpours that could lead to flash flooding. If you're in an area that's under a severe storm warning, tornado warning, slow down. If you can just buy yourself another extra half hour to 45 minutes, if you got to get to work, got to get to school, hold off. Let this storm get past you and then get out. And if you do so, be careful, because we're getting reports all over the place of trees down, trees across roadways and things like that. So we'll let the storm pass by you first. And then if you've got to get out, take it easy. Come around the curve, and you may be up on a tree without even knowing it. So take cover within those areas there for us right now. But there is the wide view of what's up, and again, warnings, but it's this red area that continues to be the big concern right now from Buffalo Valley just north of Smithville. So Smithville, heavy wind, heavy rain your way, but it's just north of you along US Highway 70 there that we're watching. So those of you in White County, you see Sparta there. Sparta, part of your area is under a severe thunderstorm warning. let's keep an eye on this tornado warning to see if any of it is extended over into White County there, just kind of north of the Sparta area. And again, we'll watch Cookeville. I know our friends in Cookeville, the last thing you want to hear about is a tornado warning after the devastation your way in March of last year. But we're going to try to walk you through this to make sure that you and your family are safe through this event this morning.
Is there a lot of emotions that come with this? You know, when we're dealing with so many watches and warnings, and we have been through so much together as a community, even just a light thunderstorm can really remind all of those things that have happened in the past. We just want you to know we're with you. We're going to stay with you, and we're going to keep you safe as everything does progress. Right now, we still are dealing with a tornado warning, portions of DeKalb, as well as moving into Putnam. Elsewhere, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings that go all the way from Clay over to Pickett, down their way into Cannon, even into Lincoln and Moore counties. We are keeping a very close eye on potential areas. Another one over in DeKalb showing some pretty good signature as it seems to have weakened just a little bit, but now keeping that pulse going up and down. Getting some new information, pea-sized hail over in Cookeville as we speak. So we understand things are loud, they're very bright, but we're going to go through this. You know what to do. We talk about it all the time. You know where your safe place is. You know where your severe weather kit is. So all you have to do is follow that plan if you were to be under a tornado warning. Still dealing with some tornado warnings out there right now. Let's look at the circulation when it comes to what we are seeing this morning. That continues to move its way just to the east and bringing quite a bit of a punch as far as this forward motion of it. Here's a closer look for you that's closer into Buckner. If you're over into Johnson's Chapel, we want you to get to your safe place. Williams Cross Road, get to your safe place because this is moving so fast, moving its way eastward right around 45 miles per hour. Now seeing right around 35, so it's slowed down just a little bit. And that's why we do have that tornado warning in place for DeKalb, Putnam, and White that goes until 8:15 this morning. And you'll notice that rotation for you over in Buckner, moving its way. So Falling Water Road, you need to be in your safe place. You head your way just over into Cunningham Lane. We need you to be in your safe place as well. The tornado warning is continuing. We have now canceled it for Smith, the National Weather Service, but it is continuing for DeKalb, Putnam until the 8 o'clock hour because that circulation has still stayed quite consistent over the past little bit. Some of you are asking, okay, well, why are y'all cutting in? We're clear over in Franklin or Dixon. Y'all, we got friends and family out here, and we've been through a lot, so we want to make sure we're together as everything does progress. So that's why we're staying on. Thank you for your patience and your kindness, and also thank you for texting your friends and family in these areas under the tornado warning, in these areas under severe thunderstorm warning. As Leland has mentioned throughout the morning, as well as Aaron and our wonderful team, you do not necessarily have to have a tornado to have damage. We've got multiple trees down. There is a ton of lightning that is taking shape. Cloud to ground lightning all across into Shelbyville. It is very loud. Flat Creek, you do have that severe thunderstorm warning for you guys that is moving its way just off to the east. And we're getting a lot of reports out of Gainsboro saying it is just electric out there right now. So keeping a close eye, but our main concern obviously is going to be this tornado warning that is currently in place. It is no longer for Smith. The tornado warning is for DeKalb and Putnam. That is going to be with us until 8 o'clock this morning. A lot of lightning is with this, and then when you look at what we're seeing as far as the winds are concerned, we are also picking up on some of that hail factor as well. And then you've got that circulation when it comes to these winds. When you've got the greens and the reds together, that's when you're noticing the circulation taking shape. So it continues to pulse up as well as down, Leland, but this has been our storm system that has just really been relentless and not let up.
Yeah, so I want to show you what's happening right now with this particular product. And so right in through here where you see a little bit of the blue that is showing up, may have a little bit of debris. One of the things that radar can do is some of the if a tornado is on the ground and actually begins to pick things up. Sometimes the radar and the wind can detect some of that debris that's being picked up. So you may have a little bit of this here, right just kind of north of Young Bend. There is a 70 right in through there, just to the east there of Philippi. So it's almost between Philip and Johnson Chapel Road there. So right in through here, just a little north there of Highway 70. If this is a tornado on the ground, there may actually be a little bit of debris that radar is picking up on some of that for us. All right, you've got another one that will show. This is wind speed here, and look at the wind speed that shows up, how strong this area is. So again, right here around Old West Road, Old Highway 26. So there's the newer update now, taking it over to Old West Road for us right now, Old Highway 26. So again, moving quick. If you're around Harbor, Greens Road, Billings Road, almost kind of along and south there of where 70 bends to the north here in this part of the area. This is what we're watching. So right in through here, there's Johnson's Chapel right there. So a lot of you in this area know these roads very well. If you're through here, if you see your road right now, take cover, because again, it looks like there may be at least a little bit of debris being picked up on this. In addition to that, we head to Buffalo Valley. Buffalo Valley, it looks like you're now in the clear as far as the strongest part of what's happening, but there's still a couple of tornado warnings south of you. So there's Buffalo Valley, there's Smithville. Smithville would take you down into DeKalb County there. Then we've got a larger one from DeKalb County. I mentioned Sparta a moment ago, so there's White County. So now Sparta, your severe thunderstorm warning has been superseded here by the tornado warning that is out. So we continue to see some circulation through here for us this morning. That all racing here to the east. But we've talked Buckner a couple of times here. So Buckner, watch out there. There's the wider view of all of that activity that is happening for us this morning. A host of warnings. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings right now extending from the Tennessee-Kentucky state line all the way down into the Tennessee-Alabama state line. But it's right along and south of I-40 now as you make your way to DeKalb County and back into White County is where we've got our biggest concern now. Let's go back and see if we can see a little bit more in the way of the rotation right in through here. And you can see just a little bit right there where it's kind of a little brighter red. So we're seeing a little bit of right in through there for us this morning. And then let's see if I can pull out the other one here. So we've got that one just almost near Smithville this morning along State Highway, U.S. Highway 70, moving over towards Sparta. You get to the north of that, Putnam County, south of Cookeville right now. So we've got Baxter. We're south of Cookeville. It's those areas. So there are a couple of different circulation areas there that we're watching this morning with these storms as they move eastward there for us this morning. So if you're in this area, if we just called out your street a moment ago, make sure that you are taking cover. If you need to get in your safe place, grab the iPad, grab the phone so that you continue watching us on News Channel 5 now as we continue service there.
And we're getting a ton of wind reports with this wind just really showing up northern Warren County. And we're going to continue to stay with you through this as we've had multiple tornado warnings and a lot of indication of damage over the past bit. So just to quickly recap, just about everyone is under a severe thunderstorm watch. That will expire at 11 o'clock. That is the translucent yellow. Where you've got more of the solid yellow, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. That means right now you need to be safe. We've got damaging winds in your area. We've got large pieces of hail that are currently a concern. Where you've got the red, that is our tornado warning. This same pattern is what has moved its way from well off to our west earlier and just continued to track, pulsing up and down. So we still have a tornado warning in place, DeKalb and Putnam counties. This goes for you until 8 o'clock. We are looking at some rotation that is going to be a concern for us. Right now it's located just about 7 miles southwest of Cookeville, and it is moving east 50 miles per hour. Leland went through some street level evidence for you, and we're going to go back through it together. If you hear your street, you know someone on this street, we want you to get to the safe place. Call them, have them go to the safe place, because we are picking up on some of this rotation. This system has had a reputation of causing some damage in other areas. We're talking about even trailers losing rooftops, upwards of 30 in some spots, and also seeing some damage elsewhere. So if you're around Floating Mill Road, Coconut Ridge Road, Ford Road, you want to be in your safe place as we speak, as well as Water Plant Road, State Park, Popular Flat Road. All you guys want to be in your safe location right now as this continues to move its way just off to our east. Also seeing that circulation in another spot. You go over into Hutchinson's College. We want to be very much so in your safe place. Old Smithville Highway gets to the lowest level of your home. If you do not have a basement, we want you to get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. These storms are loud. They've got a lot of lightning with them, and you can tell as they continue to move their way eastward, we have not had any relief. They have just been relentless, not only bringing the heavy rain and the potential for some flooding in some spots, but also when it comes to these winds gusting in excess of 70 miles per hour. We also have seen some straight line winds within this system, and of course a lot of cloud to ground lightning taking place. So keeping a close eye not only on our tornado warnings, but also our severe thunderstorm warnings that have been expanded for a lot of spots. Still continuing severe thunderstorm warning for Lincoln and more until 8:45 this morning. Winds are gusting around 60 miles per hour. We do have indication for Lincoln and more with a hail around 1 inch for you guys. That's why you do have a severe thunderstorm warning. We continue to keep a close eye on these tornado warnings. We urge you to get to your safe spot immediately. We're getting indication that we do have some damage with these cells, and we want to limit that as much as possible. Your life is important. Put on your helmet. Get to the center of your house and stay there until we give you the clear that it has moved. It is moving fast. We just ask you to continue to give us a little bit of patience as it moves its way just off to our east. And Leland, we're seeing a lot of that and really looking at some concerning stuff with this rotation and the potential that we do have some debris involved.
Have electricity, or at least many customers in those counties don't have electricity. So take this very seriously. So if you see your street right here, right now from Hutchins College Road, back over around Old Zion Road, back over around Duck Pond Road, again, those are some areas there where we've got some big concern that's taking place here this morning.
And we are, of course, watching News Channel 5 this morning, where we're keeping a very close eye of continuing coverage of tornado warnings across Middle Tennessee as well as Southern Kentucky. We'll continue to keep you updated as the storms continue to develop and move their way eastward.
Yeah, so in addition to what's happening right now, this has forced a host of schools to either be on a delay or just now closed. So Stewart County schools have now closed for today. We've got Houston, Benton, Hickman, Dixon, and Cheatham that are all running on a delay. The complete information on the delay is on our website at newschannel5.com. Head to Muhlenberg County. Earlier they were on a 2-hour delay. They have now changed that over to virtual learning. We've got about a dozen or so schools when you take into account some private schools and some daycare. So that list right now is on our website at newschannel5.com. So if you're in a couple of these counties here with kids in a private school or daycare, you may want to check to see if your school is on that list this morning. Right now, what we're watching on radar, strong thunderstorms moving through the eastern areas. Here's the biggest area right there from the state line of Kentucky all the way down into southern Middle Tennessee. So there are warnings now from here all the way down to Fayetteville and Lincoln County this morning. But within that, we still have a couple of very dangerous situations. It's all dangerous, but even more so when you consider the tornado warning. So there were a host of warnings that for the moment is now just the one, it looks like. Smithville, DeKalb County, back over to Sparta, and back into White County. That's where we were showing you a little bit of the debris ball possibility there a moment ago, a little bit of the circulation that continues in association with this. So we continue to see a little bit of the area right in through there where we continue to see some of the strong wind, but there's also right here now inside of White County where there's another area of circulation. So through here, White County, be on the lookout. Sparta, if it were to hold together, you've got another 10 minutes or so. It pushes toward the Sparta County area, DeRossert, Malin, back over to Crossville. Should it hold together and make it into Cumberland County, then Crossville could be an area of concern there for us this morning. Wanted to put a path on the entire line. Yeah, we've got the tornado warning, but this is severe weather, severe storms all the way down into southern Middle Tennessee. So these storms continue now to move at about 40, 45 miles per hour. McMinnville, Sparta, Spencer, Mayland, Robbins are all community. Those of you in Fairfield Glade, if it were to hold together, Fairfield Glade, that big golfing community there, resort retirement community out of Cumberland County. So that pushes your way here within the next bit should it continue to hold together. We're watching the rain and storms right now. They will actually drop and then ramp back up because this is wave number 2. Wave 1 came through yesterday. That produced an EF1 tornado in Tompkinsville. Round 2 happening right now, but the front still has to move through the Mid-South tonight. So when that happens, after the rain chances drop, they'll ramp back up. So I need you to stay weather aware because, Nikki D, more strong to severe storms are a possibility late today and especially, again, in some of the nighttime hours.
Exactly. Quickly before we do go over to the Futurecast, we're getting a lot of questions regarding Baxter. And I really want to hone in for you guys because it is frightening. You see that tornado warning to your south. You are not under a tornado warning. Now, is there broad rotation? That is something we're monitoring. For right now, though, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. And Baxter, you're looking at some really heavy rainfall, quite a bit of cloud to ground lightning that continues to move its way eastward. You will have a break shortly. You are about to transition, so that's some good news for you. But right now, you are not under a tornado warning. So quickly, we'll kind of give you an overview of what we're looking at as far as the rest of the day, because some of you are going, okay, it's starting to clear out. How does that pan out? Well, as Leland mentioned, we've got 2 bands. Same threats will apply when it comes to this evening. Still looking at that tornado threat, which we've had all morning long. When it comes to our wind, straight line winds will be another issue, not only for now, but also going into the afternoon. Large hail, also something else to watch out for. And then, of course, because we had so much rain yesterday in a lot of spots, already had a significant amount today, flood threat has increased. So the timing of this, we're going to get this first band out of here. All of this should wrap up across the plateau as we get around 10, 11 o'clock. We're going to have a lull. If we can keep the cloud cover with us through lunch, and just keep it a little bit on the grayer side, that would work to our advantage. Some models are indicating, and most of them so, that we're actually going to have some sunshine. That's not going to work to our advantage because once you get the sunshine with us, it is going to call for quite a bit in the way of that instability layer. So then that second band is going to move in this evening, and that's going to be another threat for significant damage as well. But we've got our Cole out live, and they're actually cleaning up behind you from the situation that we had earlier. Where exactly are you at?
Hey, Nikki D. Sorry, I was getting some shots of that getting cleaned up. I'm actually in White House right now. I'm right next to State Route 31 West. And there's a couple of things here that I've noticed in White House. It's a bit of a mess right now, especially on this state route here, because where it meets Portland, the light is actually out. So they're dealing with that. I've seen some crews that appear to be working on that right now, but we got cars backed up this way. And then the other thing that I've really noticed is there's a lot of these metal scraps really laying around this area near the light. So I'm not sure specifically where they're coming from. I try to look for it a little bit, but there's just a lot of scraps everywhere. Let me get a little closer shot so you guys can see a little bit more of the damage, but thankfully it stopped raining here to kind of give crews a little bit of a break. We also appreciate all these crews that are working so hard during this time to really deal with all of this, but here's a large part of these metal scraps. You can just see they look to be ripped. I mean, you can see the curve in the metal there. And you can tell just really the power of the wind that came through here. And I did speak with a woman who was out here kind of looking at the damage, and she said that's what this is from. She said it was from the storm. But yeah, again, this is what we're seeing when it comes to this state route where it meets Portland Road. A lot of crews on scene working to get things fixed. The lights out, and then we have this large line of cars trying to make their way down. I've been moving my way north a little bit, and it's interesting because you see spots where you couldn't even tell there was a storm. Nothing seemed wrong. But then you get to areas like this and you're like, oh, geez, there's a lot of damage that came out of all of this. But we're going to keep looking around, surveying a lot of the damage. And we just, again, want to give a shout out to all the crews that are working so hard this morning. Guys?
Yeah, definitely, show. We want to give the crews a great big hand just for what they've got to do and just having to come in with this right now. We've got thousands of folks without electricity. He's in White House. So White House is one of those communities that sits on a county line. Part of it in Robertson County, part of it in Sumner. In Sumner County right now, there are about 4,200 customers without electricity, according to the service provider there, Cumberland Electric. You head into Robertson County right now. It was higher than that, but right now Robertson County with about 1,000, just under 1,000 folks without electricity, but we still have people in Stewart County, Montgomery County, and Cheatham County. Cheatham County is way down right now, but still in those areas, and even in parts of Nashville. I know Davidson County and NES has had a little bit of issues this morning. So again, we give our crews out there a great big hand for getting out there, still sometimes in the elements and trying to get people's electricity back on. But this is a look at radar right now as we continue with the one warning that we have, let's say the one tornado warning. So let's pull this back out, and that warning is going to be extended, though, into Cumberland County. So there you see Nashville. There's all of the area. So those of you in Clarksville, Dixon, it's now quiet for you compared to some of the rain you had a little bit earlier. The big shooting match right now is in the eastern areas, again, with the counties from Tennessee, Kentucky state line into southern middle Tennessee, almost to the Alabama state line, that have thunderstorm warnings. So it's a cluster of storms moving through. It's within this area, though, that we've got the bigger concern, and this is where we have the tornado warning that extends now from Smithville back over into Sparta, and now that has being extended back over into Cumberland County and then back over to around the Crossville area.
And so they're extending it out. It's actually picked up a little speed. It's now moving east 55 miles per hour. So just to reiterate, the tornado warning for Cumberland, White, and it's about to be included in the other locations as it moves its way eastward, 55 miles per hour, located on top of Sparta just a bit ago. So seeing some of that circulation there. And it is just a very messy day. And remember, this is round one. You saw Cole out there. They're doing the cleanup. So please just be patient with everyone as we go throughout the next little bit, because it's just going to be one of those days that we've got to really rely on each other. So here's the circulation for this particular tornado that is currently taking place, moving its way east 55 miles per hour. And the speed is important because that means you've got to get to your safe place sooner rather than later. So once that is issued for you, we want you to get to your safe location as it is making its way. So a little bit of a closer look for you as far as the streets. Cove Road, Omaha Gap Road, as well as Ripley Road. No. We're seeing some issues. Oh, go ahead. Okay. And then we're also seeing that around McFloyd Road and continuing to move its way east 55 miles per hour. Multiple trees and power lines are down. Some residential damage on 231 North, damage to the barn on Davenport Lane, and multiple roads are blocked due to trees. It's over in Trousdale where we had a lot of issues earlier on. So still getting reports of those issues continuing to be filtered in. But we currently have a tornado warning that was associated with that same cell that has pulsed back up. It's moving its way very close to Sparta as we speak, moving its way eastward right around 55 miles per hour. Sparta, you're starting to see some really heavy rainfall in your area and a lot of lightning that is just on your doorstep. That's going to continue to move its way eastward. So areas closer over in Malin, I know you're not under the warning, but it's close to you. So just be mindful. It's not going to take much for this to move just a little bit. Lantana is coming into your area as well. What you've got right now is some heavy rain and some lightning. That's not the cell. The cell is off to your west. That's currently right around into Sparta. If you look at the winds, we are picking up, the reds and the greens together, and then sometimes we end up seeing more of this pinkish color where we have some rotation taking place. Closer into Hickory Valley Road, you want to be in your safe location. Country Club Road, be in the lowest level of your home. Carr Road, be in your low level, as well as Swift Road. If you do not have a basement, we urge you to get to the center of your house, have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We're not only just dealing with the threat of tornadic activity with this cell, but it also is bringing a punch with straight line winds. It has a reputation of quite a bit of damage. Winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, taking off some rooftops when it comes to the mobile homes. We've noticed a lot of trees that are down from this system, as well as phone and of course, electric poles. So please be mindful as it continues to move its way just off to the east. Still getting so many reports in. It takes a little bit once these storms move in that you actually gather all the information and evidence that's on the flip side of it. But Leland, one thing's for sure, this bulk, this cluster of storms, they have been relentless. They have stayed together. Every one of them has had at least, one little bit of rotation in these cities as they continue to move their way eastward. And then you've got the straight line winds on top of that.
Yeah, in the early morning hours, it was a cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings as this came out of Arkansas and Missouri into West Tennessee, and actually over northern West Tennessee pretty much staged severe thunderstorm warnings. But then as we got inside of News Channel 5 this morning, we saw one warning earlier around the 5 o'clock hour around Murray, Kentucky for a tornado warning, and then more severe thunderstorm warnings issued. But as the severe thunderstorm warnings issued, we started to see a little bit more rotation, and that has prompted a host of these tornado warnings, and what we're continuing to see here at 8:13 on this Tuesday morning. So there is our bigger picture view for you right now, and it's these eastern counties. So you think I-65 rolling through Nashville, pretty much east of I-65 is where our greatest action is now. Sometimes it's easier to pick out the counties that are under warnings if we don't have the radar on. So there's a glimpse there. So we've got northern areas that are in yellow, extending to McMinnville, extending down to Jackson, to Lynchburg. Those are the counties that are under the severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's within here, and this has actually been pretty consistent since we were watching tornado warnings back over Nashville and Davidson County, where we've got our area of concern with the tornado warnings right now from Smithville to Sparta back over to Crossville. So Crossville and Cumberland County, heavy rainfall now pushing in. There are the host of the warnings that are out. Let's check and see what we're seeing in the way of rotation right now. And you've got a little area right here around Sparta this morning where we're seeing a little bit of rotation. So there's Sparta. Looks like we're just almost to the east there of Sparta along Highway 70 there, where we've got rotation. So let's bring that in. Blue Springs Road, back over around Wildcat Road, Country Club Road. So right in through here, if you're in Sparta, and especially in that little area that's east-northeast of Sparta, this is what we're watching right now. Those of you around DeRosset, Clarktown, if this continues in its direction at 45 miles per hour, then it's pushing your way. So DeRosset, Clarktown, Lovejoy Road, Old Highway 70, Stebbins Lane, another area there. We'll slide this east and pick out a few other streets that are downstream from this. So there you see Ravenscroft there and West Ravenscroft Road. So there is the area of circulation just again kind of to the east, northeast of Sparta. Pull this out. Let's do another storm path here on this particular storm cell. So we'll get it right at the core right now with a brand new update that has come in. And those of you who are down Pike right now, DeRosset, in just about 5 minutes or so, Browntown, let's see, back over near Crossville, Memorial Whitson Field, and just the town of Crossville itself. So with the newer update, I do want to go back in and let's kind of get a better street update now with a new scan that just came in. So there it is, even closer to DeRosset right now, Ravenscroft, just east of Sparta. So Sparta, some strong wind and rain your way, but it looks like the heaviest of this core is now just east and northeast of you. So Bon Air, and those of you around Bon Air Mountain, again, take cover through here. Let's put in a few more streets, Coal Bank Road, Idlewind Road, DeRosset. There you see West Ravenscroft going up toward the Ravenscroft community. And then those of you downstream, Red Road, Junebug Road, Deep Run Road, those are the areas, Old Railroad, Grade Road. So you're downstream from this, but be mindful that this could be pushing your way, where we're continuing to see this nice little area of circulation that is showing up around Sparta and again moving through the northern part of White County. And that's why we now have parts of Cumberland County in this. So Pleasant Hill is actually on the Cumberland County side of of the county line. So that pushes toward Pleasant Hill, Lantana, Crossville. I mentioned Fairfield Glade a moment ago. Those areas there. Crab Orchard is just on the outskirts of this right now. But if you're in the Crab Orchard community, again, just kind of keep an eye to what's happening your way, because there's a dangerous situation right now just to the west and southwest of where you're at this morning.
And it's something we're going to continue to monitor. I know a lot of you are watching, guys, on Facebook Live and other resources. We apologize. We had been on for so long, it had to restart. We are not leaving you. We can assure you of that. We're going to stay together. Some of you are saying you're in your safe place. You don't know what's happening because you're in your little cocoon and you're staying in a very good spot. We will be your eyes and ears. Trust us, we're going to stay the entire time with you. Yes, we still are dealing with tornado warnings in place. If you're close to the Bon Air area, right around into Sparta, you want to be in your safe spot right now, right around into Coal Banks Road. As Leland was mentioning, this is where we've got the best circulation that continues to move its way just off to our east, around 45 miles per hour. We're also seeing some issues when it comes to some debris on lots of roads that have already seen the passing of this. So here is a broader perspective. You'll notice the bulk of the heavy rain, the thunderstorm activity continues to be right around to Fayetteville, going a little bit into Waynesboro, then moving its way east. If you're I-65 west, majority of you are good to go for the morning. Obviously, you've got to pay attention to the downed trees, the downed power lines, but when it comes to the severe weather for you, for the now time frame, you are good to go. Areas that is west of I-65. We still have issues east of I-65. Lafayette, you're about to have a break. Hermitage Springs, you're about to have a break. You had your way over into McMinnville, you're still in the thick of it. Right now, you do not have a severe thunderstorm warning in place. However, you've got a lot of lightning that is with you, and that's going to eventually move its way just off to the east. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings for a handful of spots. Thankfully, there's now been a cancellation for a severe thunderstorm warning over in Moore, but we still have several areas that are under the gun this morning that we're keeping a very close eye on. So going through it right now, severe thunderstorm warning, Warren, Coffee, Grundy, Van Buren, White and Cumberland, y'all are both under a tornado warning. Fentress, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. You can actually tell that the National Weather Service is beginning to take a few steps back when it comes to our severe thunderstorm watch that's actually been lifted for Henry going over into Carroll. So you guys are on the good side when it comes to this system that has already moved in. This is going to continue to move its way out, but still several of us severe thunderstorm warnings, and we continue to receive information that we've got several spots that have got a lot of damage with them. So we're keeping a very close eye on that as things do progress. So quickly, we still have a lot of rain out there. We've got some tornadic activity as well. So here's a look at the Power of 5 radars. You put on the lightning, it is still intense, even going into the Tennessee Valley. But because you've got that nice slant, we're seeing more of the western side of I-65 being on the clear end of things. When it comes to our tornado warnings, a lot of you are asking, what about Crossville? Well, here we go. We've got our tornado warning in place for areas that do include around into Sparta. This is going to move its way eastward over the next bit, and it's moving at a very quick pace, right around that 55 mile per hour mark. That's why it is important, if you are in Crossville, that you're paying attention and you're getting prepared to go to your safe spot, because if the circulation does stay with us, it's not going to take long for it to get to your area because of that forward motion speed. So still picking up on some of that circulation closer into Sparta. Things are looking a little better for some of us as it continues to move its way just off to the east. And Leland, you've got some new information for us?
Yeah, you've got a nice pickup of the circulation right there. So there's Bon Air. A lot of folks know that Bon Air Mountain back over through there. The Rossert right now. So there is Sparta. So we've got Sparta there. So we're now talking a little east of Sparta as we're now making our way toward Cumberland County. See Pleasant Hill right there. You see the West Mill area. This begins to take you into Cumberland County. So in a bit, maybe another 15 minutes or so, White County may be put in the clear, and then more of this back over into the Cumberland County area for us this morning. But there's the big picture view for us right now, and it's really along and east of I-65. There's I-65 I-65 right now, north of Nashville, south of Nashville. There's a little bit of activity west of I-65 in southern Middle Tennessee, but the heaviest storms, the heaviest warnings right now are back out to the east this morning. We've got the tornado warning right there from Sparta back over toward Crossville. It does look like we probably could put Sparta in the clear as far as the speed of this for us now. But there we go from back over in around Jamestown, Pickett County, Cumberland County. Those are the counties in yellow that remain under severe thunderstorm warning. So you're still getting some pretty good thunderstorms from down around Van Buren County, back over around McMinnville for us this morning, that extending down to Grundy County and back over into the Franklin County area. But through here, there's Crossville right now. There's Pleasant Hill. Here's where we've got a little bit of that circulation that continues now almost on the White County line with Cumberland County as it slides on off toward the east. So there's a little closer view of some of that right now. Some of that circulation back over around DeRossert, back over around Clarktown for us this morning. And then some heavier streets here. There's Viola Drive. There's Deep Run Road back over around Old Railroad, Grade Road, Red Road right there. So right through here, this is continuing to move east-southeast a bit for us this morning. So then we identify a few of the communities downstream from this that at least need to be on the lookout. That means those of you in Browntown, those of you back over in Pleasant Hill, there's the county line right there. So the brand new update puts this now just almost to the east of Clarktown, and especially there around Deep Run Road for us this morning. And then it looks like a little bit of that continuing, a broader area of circulation continuing into White County there for us this morning, in Cumberland County back over toward Pleasant Hill. So there's the Crossville area. Those of you around Fairfield Glade, a couple of the communities that will pop up: Browntown, Pomona, Crossville, Crab Orchard, a couple of areas there that are at least downstream from the one area that continues right now with the severe thunderstorm warning. Pull this back out and look at all of the markers here. These markers represent a severe thunderstorm warning, or at least tree damage or hail damage in a lot of locations there. There's I-40 right there. So again, a lot of this was along and north of I-40 this morning. So we've got damage there. And Nikki D, I know that there's new information coming in that Rebecca is following right now.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. We need to toss over to her because this is actually an incident involving a school bus. Rebecca, you got some breaking news. What do you know?
Unfortunately, Nikki D, down in Williamson County in the Spring Hill area, we have a confirmed school bus involved crash right now. And it's blocking Duplex Road. That's an important artery traveling east-west in the area where they're working that crash scene right now at Owl Hollow Road. So pretty much just east of I-65. So a very big area. And we're working right now to find out if anyone was hurt in this crash. That's something that deputies have not confirmed for us yet this morning. Which schools actually feed into this particular bus that's involved in the crash, and whether there were students still on board at the time. All questions that we are asking for you this morning. I know a lot of parents hear school bus crash and your ears perk up and you start to get concerned. So we're working to find out more details right now for you. If you usually use Duplex Road in the area, you're gonna have to go pretty far out of the way, unfortunately. Joe P. Road, one option, that's to the south. Thompson Station Road, another option to travel east-west in the area instead to the north. Lots of other issues right now with these weather conditions. We have rush hour really lasting a lot longer than usual. This is I-24 East near Briley Parkway on the south side of town. Or we are very slow. If anyone's trying to get from downtown onto I-24, maybe heading to Antioch or Rutherford County this morning, very, very slow. Also slow heading inbound, 29 minutes. And from Smyrna, about 45 minutes on your way up from Murfreesboro after a series of earlier issues along I-24 westbound this morning. Hendersonville crawling on Vietnam Vet still right now in those westbound lanes if you're trying to get closer to I-65. These weather conditions means everyone is trying to take it easy out there, and there's a lot of folks who maybe sat out the earlier morning rush hour because of the storms passing through and are now heading out and going about their business. So 48 minutes on your drive from Hendersonville to Nashville. That's if you take the main route, Vietnam Vets and I-65. You can shave off almost 20 minutes or so by taking Gallatin Pike and Ellington Parkway, the main alternate route from Hendersonville into the Nashville area instead. And here's the map for you right now. I-24 East a little slow as you're coming in near Whites Creek Pike before you reach Old Hickory Boulevard. And I just have a breaking news update just confirmed. No one was injured in that school bus crash down on Duplex Road in the Spring Hill area. So that's great news that our folks behind the scene have been working on getting for you this morning. I want to say that again, no one hurt in that school bus crash that I just reported, but Duplex Road does remain blocked in the Spring Hill area. Guys?
All right, so great information there. We got the crash, but no injuries, so that's good news there. We've got the watch right now, Nikki D, that continues for the eastern counties officially until 11 o'clock. Probably once this round of storms moves through, this will be canceled prior to that, but that's just round two. We had round one yesterday. We've got a second round that we've got to keep an eye out on as we head late today and overnight tonight.
And you can tell with those watches, they already have started to cancel them just off to our west, where we are seeing things beginning to wrap up for this morning event. So let's take a look what we've got right now. You'll notice still dealing with a tornado warning for our friends just off to our far eastern extent. A ton of lightning involved with this. If you are west of I-65, you're good to go. You are clear. We're going to have a little bit of relief for a little bit, but then we're going to be dealing with another system as we go throughout the afternoon. Areas off to the east are going to hang on a little bit longer because it took a little bit to get to you, but you're going to wrap things up shortly, and that's going to be some really good news for everybody. When it comes to our severe weather threats, unfortunately, they're going to look very similar to what we have already dealt with this morning. We're going to have the tornadic threat. We're going to have the gusty wind threat, and we're also going to be dealing with the threat for localized flooding. So here it is kind of broken down for you. Wind, straight line winds, as well as gusty winds within. The hail threat will also be up. Flooding has increased because we were so saturated yesterday. And then, of course, you've had all this rain today. So think of every little granule of soil like a sponge. It can only fill up so much. And so you're going to have that excess beginning to run off. The tornado threat, sadly, will be with us yet again. So it's important to heed the warnings, heed the advice, take the forecast notes so you know how to plan for the rest of your day. So currently we've got all those showers just off to our east. You notice the timestamp on this model, it's saying around 10:45. Well, it's 8:30. So it actually has rushed things out a little faster. So keep that just kind of a little nugget in your head. We head our way around lunchtime. We are looking for some clouds to be with us, but overall still potential peaks of sunshine. If we can keep the cloud cover longer and we can have that blanket around us, that's going to keep us a little bit more stable. But you get the sunshine and stability kicks up significantly. And that's why this afternoon potentially could be another situation where we're dealing with several watches and warnings in place. So this is going to fuel the atmosphere when you get that sunshine. The timing of this is going to be around 3, 4 o'clock. Similar situation. Showers, heavy rainfall, storms, and a lot of lightning will be with this, as well as the company of hail and the potential for damaging winds. That first round is going to move out. Then we head into the 8, 9 o'clock hour. Then there's the cold front that's actually going to make its way through as we head around the evening hours. We're going to wrap everything up as we transition into midnight. So this is basically going to be one of those days that we've got to keep that radar handy. Once that moves out, we've got drier conditions on the flip side. Tomorrow you'll have the sunshine. Dew points are going to be lower, as well as your temperature. So here's a quick sneak peek of the 7-day forecast. Today, obviously, the day to watch out for. 78 degrees for our high. First band's happening now. Second band will be this afternoon, and then we'll have that cold front finally wrapping in around 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's lovely, as well as Thursday. Rain chances will sneak back in heading into the weekend. At this time, not looking at a complete washout of event, and thankfully so, we're not looking at anything that's going to be as severe as what we currently are dealing with across the area. Right now, we do have a continuation of a tornado warning with us, and that is areas just off to our east. We're also dealing with significant weather advisory for northern Franklin County that will go with us until the 8:45 time frame, so around 15 minutes from now. These are the reports we have received so far. A lot of trees down, a lot of electricity out for a lot of spots, and of course we're picking up on quite a bit of damage with these storms. So even though that system's moving its way out, we still have a lot of cleanup to take place. You'll notice we still have that tornado warning. This is edging closer into Crossville as we speak, picking up on some of that rotation as well. This has been the cell that has just not let up. It has stayed pulsing up and down. for hours now, and it's finally going to make its way out. We just got to get through Crossville over the next bit, where we are picking up on some of that circulation. So areas right around I-40, closer into the Crossville area, we want you to get in your safe place right now. Lowest level of your home. And if you do not have a basement, you want to get in the very center of your house. Once we can get this out of here, you're going to notice some improvement taking place for a few hours before that next band does move in. But a lot of lightning associated, Leland.
Yeah, so as we show you what's up, we'll note a couple of quick things here. Number one, we were talking Pleasant Hill a moment ago. There are reports of some trees down in the Pleasant Hill area. Number two, the features on the tornado warning are looking less organized, so it may actually be dropped. Right now, it is scheduled to be out until 9 a.m. And this is the one that we're watching now in a little part of White County, but more so over the Cumberland County area for us this morning. That's the big region of concern. Now, there are a couple of other areas where we've got some strong thunderstorms this morning. There are a host of severe thunderstorm warnings that are out, but it's this area here right now, and mainly, while it still shows a little bit of White County, more of this appears to be in Cumberland County now, and the features are weakening a little bit. So again, the warning for the moment out till 9 a.m., but there is a chance it could actually be dropped ahead of that. But those of you in Cumberland County, back over around Crossville, you've got the concern right now. Let's pull this back out. A host of the other warnings that were out have actually been either canceled or allowed to expire. So we've got Cumberland County, the rest of it under a severe thunderstorm warning. Then you head up in Pickett County, back over into the Fentress County area, and that remains under a severe thunderstorm warning. Just a little sliver there of Putnam County also remaining under the severe thunderstorm warning. So right now, there's the view out of Crossville. There's I-40 as it makes its way down from Monterey back over into the Cumberland County, Crossville area for us this morning. There's that cell right there. So we continue to see a little bit of circulation. We actually have a little bit down here, down around Lantana as well. So if you're around Lantana, be on the lookout. There may be a little bit of issues your way. Becoming weaker, it's a bit more broader at the point. We mentioned Pleasant Hill. We were talking ahead of time, warning you in Pleasant Hill, be on the lookout. This storm was headed your way. Some early reports at least showing that there are some trees that have been downed in this area, and there are power outages all over the place for us this morning. So circulation continuing, although weakening, but still strong enough now that the warning continues. So there's all of the rain that's out for us this morning. Get a break in the action for you later, as Nikki D was pointing out. Don't really want to see a ton of sunlight today because that could allow things to destabilize things a little bit later in the day. But right now, we're going to go back out to Cole. We've talked about some of the damage that was out there. Nikki D showed you the storm report map indicating damage all over the place. One of those areas is in White House, where Cole is at. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Leland. Yes, I did find a significant amount of damage, honestly. So when those storms blew through here, I came over to this house. It's just really a block away from where I was earlier when we were talking about that State Route 31 West that was really piled up. But there's a large amount of damage really just in this yard here. You can see all these metal pieces. So I was speaking with the man that lives here, and he says that this came from another building, and you can see how powerful it is. I mean, look at this, like the curves in these metal here, but it also took that that maroon pole down there that was up here, and it knocked that down. And he was saying that he had left for about 5 minutes, and then his wife called him and said we were hit, and then he came back and saw all this. So his truck was sitting right here before he pulled out and left. And thankfully, though, no one was hurt here, but just a significant amount of just these metal shards. And it actually, you can't really see this on the camera, but there's a motorcycle off screen and a piece of wood like wedged between the seat and the saddle there a little bit. And it's just crazy to see how much damage can happen in just that short amount of time. Really, that 5 minutes is when all of this happened, and all this metal really coming from another location. So it's always best to be prepared and stay inside and really listen to our meteorologists who've been doing such a great job throughout the morning helping us all stay safe. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Cole. And he is in White House, Tennessee, on the Robertson County, Sumner County line. Do want to point out that the tornado warning that I noted a moment ago that could be canceled has been. It earlier was out until 9 a.m., but the warning for Cumberland County has now been canceled. We've got Crossville and Fentress County that remains under a severe thunderstorm warning this morning. But Nikki D, we've not only had damage there, you've had a host of pictures that have come in and damage from a couple of other areas around the region this morning, and that's going to be the issue right now. After things start to move out with this morning rain, the cleanup begins for many people out there.
And of course, you know, the cleanup has got to get done before we got this next round that's going to move in. This is over in Goodlettsville. This was sent in earlier. You can tell that tree just completely struck by lightning, as well as dealing with some of it cut off. This is in Jolton, thanks to Craig. We're seeing some debris on top of the house, and you can tell that you've got quite a few limbs down around it. And here's another picture in Jolton. If you're familiar with the area, Craig's on Baxter Road. That is a pretty mature tree that has toppled over. These are just a few of the reports that are coming in. A lot of the storm reports across the board, if you had to choose one or the other, we're talking snap trees. We're seeing that over and over again because we have had winds so incredibly high. Winds have been gusting around 70 miles per hour, and that was not just one or two spots. There was a handful of locations. Then we had the tornadic activity with several tornado warnings. Of course, the National Weather Service, they're going to go out there and they're going to assess as to how things did pan out with these particular systems. Was it a tornado? Was it an EF0, EF2? They're going to go through that for us. But what we can tell you is we do have a lot of damage out there. As far as power outages, they are significant across the area, hands down. So we're keeping a very close eye on how things do develop. This is a picture earlier over in Nashville. I mean, we had some very frightening scenes, and, you know, our anxiety is high these days. We have a lot of severe weather here in Middle Tennessee, and it's, you know, it's frightening to a lot of us. And we're going to be with you every step of the way. I can assure you of that. But a lot of stuff is going to be cleaned and picked up over the next little bit. The good news is right now there are no tornado warnings in the area. We still have some rain, and yes, there's still some lightning. Areas just off to the east. Even a severe thunderstorm warning getting closer across the plateau. That is going to move out. This is round one for today. We're going to see that next round beginning to move in this afternoon. If we can keep the clouds longer today, that will help us out. If we see more sunshine, that's not a good sign for us. That is indicating that we are going to be dealing with a more unstable atmosphere. So just kind of like keep that in place as far as your mindset of today, of how you're going to be planning going into the next little bit. But a ton of lightning still with us, and I understand going into Crossville, it is loud as we speak, but you are not under a tornado warning. You simply have a severe thunderstorm warning. Still can cause some damage, but we're not looking at any rotation associated with this as it continues to move its way off. We're noticing that over in McMinnville. You're about to wrap things up, and then you'll notice that we do have quite a bit of a clearing. So are looking to see that severe thunderstorm watch expiring shortly for everybody, but potential watch and warnings will be back as we go throughout tomorrow, or excuse me, as we go throughout the afternoon hours.
All right, so we're about to wrap things up here now that the tornado warning has come to an end. So for the moment, I'll go back to this map. No tornado warnings are out for the area, but we continue to watch severe thunderstorm warning out of Cumberland County and Fentress County. But for now, tornado warnings have come to an end. So as we get ready to go back into the programming, just a reminder, several schools are going to be either out or on a delay. Muhlenberg County for you today, virtual learning day. Stewart County is out. Cheatham, Dixon, Hickman, Houston, and Benton counties are all operating on a delay. That information is also on our website. Right now, there are about a dozen or so schools that are out. So if you've got a private school in one of the areas with some damage, check it to see if your child's school may be on a delay today.
You may notice a little bit of chatter on social media when it comes to a crash involving a school bus. Our Rebecca Schleicher has all the information on her Facebook. Good news is there were no injuries involved. But we're going to leave you right now with some of the photos that are coming in right now. They will continue to fold in. Let us know if you are from a safe distance. Send them our way, and we'll get that information out.
And a complete update and a wrap-up on what's going on coming up at 11 o'clock on News Channel 5, Talk of the Town. And we'll stay with you all day long.
This has been a Storm 5 alert.
And Joe,
I had to throw one in there.
yeah, I know.